win on the other side are, of course,
What are you
top
trying to
NA
say
mid
here?
laner who are, well, you know, Quinn's getting talked up over the past couple months.
Okay.
And this is just
see.
Gunner. No, sorry, Gunner.
Jesus. Unbelievable here, Trent. Everybody go yell at him on Twitter. Go yell at TretPax on Twitter and let him know
And
how
make sure
feel
you
about
follow while you're there. Perfect
right.
stuff. Thank you for the
that.
plug.
No problem. That's how it works.
Don't forget we have NADPC Twitter accounts too. So yeah, hit them up as well. Most Storm Spirit games, 4th place for Abed now.
Jeez.
As I guess he was already ahead of Ferrari 430, but 59.2% win rate. Not too bad. Got a ways to go before he catches old Sumail though.
Yeah, but he's catching up to Don though. He's only a couple behind him there. So you know, possibly by the end of this DPC, depending upon how it all works out, we might see something change there.
Abed's just like, how is this guy still playing? I gotta catch this guy.
You know, it's interesting. The panel was talking about the potential for a mid Grimstroke. And I kind of like the idea of it, but I will say that I think you get even better value out of the Grimstroke playing in the 4 position just because they're going up against the Tidehunter. So often that's been like such a devastating counter to this hero when you try and jump in for a big Ravage or what have you, and then the opportunity just gets taken away.
Yeah, pretty annoying playing this. I have actually cast a mid Grimstroke already too, so I've had a chance to witness this this pub brought into the pro scene.
Right.
It's I don't know, it just reeks of Thompson. It really does. Like, cause you like rush this E-Blade and I don't know. It's like your other cheeky mids, we'll just say.
Fair enough. Crit here. Trying to go toe-to-toe against Sammy Boy. Gotta walk away. Arteezy's still right on top of him. The Courier's heading over as well. Can they kill Crit? Looking for the angle. Husky. He pump fakes it until he doesn't have an opportunity. And now he's just going to get jumped on. Is he dead?
Oh, man.
Husky or Arteezy. Maybe a chance to turn there now. Arteezy's the one that's starting to drop. This is an absolute slobber knocker in this top lane as Ocean now has to walk away. They do have another Stroke of Fate in just a moment, but that's going to be first blood drawn by Artur. So they don't want the bad matchup as mid.
But wait.
Oh, he heard you talking, Trent.
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'll show this guy. Nice ward you got there, friend. Not enough to help you.
And they take down Brax as well. He dies to the tower after Ice gets the gush, lowering his armor down underneath it. Dude, it is just popping off here.
Wait, what? Okay. That's unusual. It's a pretty rare death to see in this matchup. Ice is now level 4.5 versus 2.5.
Oh no. All right, this is a problem. You know, I think Jenkins was talking about some of the keys to the victory that he saw for Zoomers was it being a good laning stage, and EG have just switched up these lanes, now getting a one-on-one of Ice versus Brax down bottom, and that's really screwed things up for him.
Level 2 is just like so awkward for bad. The 3 is nice, like just starting to buff up the napalm.
Right.
He needs a little bit more value out of these fireflies whenever he pops one. Back to that like very initial fight though, I thought that Crit did an excellent job of like utilizing his fairy fire. Like the way that he was trying to trade as the Shadow Shaman, I think is super key in this lane. He came salve, 5 tangos, and a fairy fire. Like he's abusing that heavy right click damage that you get.
And being the one up front and center. And it's not like terrible movement speed either for him, the way I feel like it used to be. Like 285 is not awful, even though everybody's a little bit faster than him around the area. Mark, the one benefit that you can definitely have at the very least for Zoomers is that Gunner getting that solo kill onto Abed, much needed. But now they're going to rotate, try and secure a rune, but it's down bottom, so Gunner will get the bottle refill.
Yeah, it's giving him a little bit of an edge there. Net worth wise, he's neck and neck there with Ice. As Brax sprays his way back to the tower. Ice is approaching Ravage right now.
God.
And so if he can whittle down Brax and threatens me something else, it's his 98th game on Tide. Second most still to ROTK. Wow, that's kind of funny.
Jeez. Well, he's going to pass.
QO still has the leading PA. Oh, Caveman Dota. Good times.
Of course he does. Well, it's going to be an interesting one to watch, this one for sure, because it feels like Ice is primed to have an amazing start. And likewise up top, things to get a little bit testy here. Already only 10 last hits for Sammy Boy.
Yeah, that's true. I've been looking more at the last hit battles in the side lanes, but yeah, Sammy Boy and Brax a little hurting here so far.
And Gunnar, he's trying to salvage Brax's lane right now.
This is both bounties too.
Oh, Ravage though, and he gets the Kraken Shell immediately taking it off. Dude, that time with only 1 point is insane.
Yeah, that was well done. I mean, the guy's played Tide a few times. I'm not going to chalk that up to luck. I think he might know what he's doing. But yeah, Gunnar does get the double bottle, so unfortunately you don't get the kill, but at least the Ravage is down. This means he's not going to kill Brax with it, and you can double bottle up while giving your mid lane to Ocean for a little bit. So not a super successful play, but they don't lose out on too much, I don't think.
True. Yeah, so that helps at least in some fashion. It's not as good as it could have been, but it's something at the very least. His Gunnar is actually, well, it looks like, or come back in towards mid again. I'm not sure what his plan is here. I guess he wants to contest.
Oh yes, just in time, and down for the 6 minutes. This is a level 3 Oracle too. He's got the big damage.
Oh. Being won right now by EG.
I mean, your Lash had like full bottle anyway. It's not a big deal. He's like, yeah, I would like to farm with that too, but as he said, the risk is just too much for a Storm. Abed correctly identifies exactly where Gunnar's playing, and he's taking stacks and stuff, but he can't do anything about it.
Right. So sit back, farm up a little bit more. Abed definitely having a good time here in mid. And this is also, you know, the fact that you're not dying up top and that there's still like a couple CS to be had for Sammy Boy here and there. It's sort of making the best of a bad situation.
This was their big hero for a while. Back when Clinks was like completely busted, right? We saw Sammy Boy play Clinks constantly. They were like one of the teams really trying to push that hero with or without the Ench several times. So it's, I would say, probably one of his more confident heroes, but he's not exactly a big meta hero at the moment, right? Curious to see how well it goes for him.
Zip on into Ocean mid. Kicks Abed back underneath the tower, but the shackles will connect, and that should be more than enough to take down Ocean. So Crit makes that rotation and helps set up Abed to have an even better game as down bottom. Trying to bring down Ice yet again. Ravage back up in 10 seconds. And Gunnar doesn't actually have any more mana, but will they be able to bring him down nonetheless? The rotation coming in from Abed. I think they just got wrecked. Yeah, he's like, thank you very much. I will take that kill.
I'm surprised he didn't taunt on him while he was at it.
You look rabid.
Yeah, just gave him the tip instead. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Ice is owning this game completely.
I think he did not feel as great or as comfortable on that Legion Commander last game for sure. One of the performances that I think you'd like to forget, but definitely off to a better start here in this one.
Gunnar's game's just gone sideways since he got that solo kill, though. 2 failed rotations to the bottom lane. Also doesn't get the bottle cancel there on the Abed as he scoops out that invis.
Yeah, they got to do something. I mean, I guess just AFK farming to a certain extent is kind of what they need.
They're pulling the dust out on Fly. He's coming top for the kill.
Okay.
Is that the plan? I at least assume it is, but he's under a ward here too.
Invisibility.
So they know that Fly's is like lurking back here with detection. So it could catch him off guard if Abed comes up invis, but he's losing too much HP on the stack to, yeah, he just canceled out the invis to keep farming.
And Gunnar, he made the rotation, was spotted briefly on that ward, but then they ended up canceling
this
charge.
ward's now spotting Abed. They decided not to smoke, so.
A lot of vision had up in this top lane. EG spot Zoomers, and Zoomers spot EG, and now everybody's just kind of chilling, waiting. They're thinking about it.
Catch it with the sentry now. He's going to wait to see their reaction. Oh, I mean, they're under the tower anyway, so this doesn't necessarily give it away, right? Because they're just moving with the creep wave.
True. Yeah, it might not reveal it. And I mean, the other thing here is Gunnar's like this is all time when you're not really farming that much on Abed.
Yeah,
he does head back to the camp.
He'll also clear the camp before 10 anyway, so. I mean, it could have been better, yeah, but at least there's still pressure, even if they could see him. Like, Sammy Boy still had to play a little bit differently. And, oh, he gets the fairies trinket.
That's silly.
This thing seems way too good, first off. And on Storm, that seems kind of nasty. 5% mana reduction.
It's true.
Some heroes you can write that off. Not Storm, though. And he's looking for another Ancient stack here at the 10-minute timer.
If they get this is looking really good for him. All right, pulls to the side. And will it finish off? Does look like it. So another stack, triple there for the PA. Can they do anything here to Husky? Trying to bring him down, TP out, manages to escape.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right, well, Sammy Boy recovering a little bit here, at the very least. I mean, he hasn't died, but he's getting some last hits. He's not getting zoned out of the lane. He's only 900 gold behind Arteezy, which I think is kind of surprising.
who are two of the most explosive players in the entire scene, the most volatile also. Like, if their game goes well, you know, they will destroy you. But if they have some hiccups here and there, then they will have a hard time recuperating again. And it will just be very interesting to see whether Fnatic can weather the storm or not. Because like T1 will be running at you all the time, and they're just very bloodthirsty.
Yeah, we often see that with teams like that, when you've got these kind of excited players who just kind of want to make a name for themselves, as well as known for being flashy. The way you make the most out of these high-skilled mechanical players is to overwhelm your opponent, run into their faces. When it comes down to kind of the structure and the captainships of the two teams, who do you think has the edge there in kind of overall grand strategy?
I would have to actually disagree a little bit with him. Say that T1, they do have a good captain. Not on that, they have an extremely good captain there. It's like he just recently got in, they announced him, right? But on the side of Fnatic, I think you're just as bloodthirsty. I think you have one of the first 11,000 MMR players in SCA. I think you're pretty hyped with that. You have the skills to match up that early game and just lock horns with them early on in the game. But at the same time, T1, they might have a little bit more experience in the captaining mode.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think these are some questions which we are hopefully going to get answered, possibly today, possibly in a few weeks' time. We'll see who comes out strongest. But yeah, definitely one of these matchups which is going to kind of predetermine a lot of what we watch throughout this league so far. How do you think the other teams are going to be feeling getting to watch these two Titans clash early on? Do you think that's going to be good for some of the middle ground teams to watch these guys play and then be like, right, you know, this works, this doesn't work? Or do you think they're going to be focusing entirely on their own game?
I think, especially at the beginning, you want to focus mostly on yourself, you know, just to kind of iron out your own mistakes and everything, because you will have your own series to play this week, and it's very hard to just adjust to things on the fly, you know? Like, you're probably going to come in with like a predetermined plan, and they're definitely going to watch the game, of course, and see if, you know, like, maybe this hero can work well with our strategy too, and talk about that. But I don't think they will like care too much about the result, because, you know, as I said, the play field is very close and everybody has like their own style, so to say.
How familiar are you with Masaros, by the way, the offlaner of Fnatic? Masaros.
I mean, I played with him a lot in the pub games, but other than that, like not too much. Yeah, he's a very emotional guy. Let's put it that way. Like he dies 2 times on offlane, you know, he'll be like, this game is so stupid, I don't want to play anymore.
That's actually the worst possible mentality I can imagine for an offlane player, right? Like, because you're gonna be dying, man. That's, I'm just asking because on one side, possibly the most experienced player of T1, and the reason why I said everything about captaining, even though he might not be in that position, is Cuckoo, right? Like you have Cuckoo on one side, you have Masaros on the other. Position 3 plays a big part right now. It's not as big as in the old Beastmaster era where you just take over the map minute 15, but it's still a very important role, and I see a disbalance on that offlane in these two teams.
I mean, offlane, this patch seems very like tempo control-y, you know? Like you pick out these Beastmasters, everything, like you pressure the towers, you pressure the map. And yeah, I think Cuckoo is definitely the better out of the two when it comes to that, simply because he has much more experience. But we'll see how they match up.
You have Jabs and DJ on the other side to kind of even that out, right?
Yeah, so there's a lot of those kind of balancing scales answers, but we have ourselves a draft, so let's get into it. The very first game in the SEADPC. Strap these speedos on, and let's dive into it. What are our first bans, gentlemen?
Well, Bad Rider, Tidehunter. Tidehunter is actually one of the more surprising ones. Like we will see how different the bans actually are from China and SEA, because the playstyles are completely different too. We might not even see Odie getting banned, you know? Like every region has like their own thinking of like, oh, this hero is way too strong, we can't let that go through, we need to pick up this hero.
Yeah, like you see this Venge. Venge was drafted quite a bit in the region recently with Arc Wardens, with Drows, but that's the old patch as well. And these two teams, maybe they are stuck a little bit in that era. Like the Batrider was Batrider is still strong, but he was first phase banned back then, and they go with the Wisp. Okay, this is something that they've done earlier. They played Wisp LC on the offlane with, believe it or not, techies in their draft as well. So maybe something crazy coming up.
Yeah, and you can already see like the draft is very, very different from what we had yesterday with the Chinese region. It's actually like a complete reverse. We see both lineups already are shaping up to be very aggressive, with both the Pango and IO pickup.
Dude, those laughs, like I'm telling you, techies is in their head, like it's happening. Also, Tidehunter is something that Fnatic has played recently. Yeah. So
very strong hero this patch. Also, one thing we failed to mention: T1 is actually the old Geek fam who at one point, just of course they switched out the carry player, who at one point was the best team in SEA. They beat everybody. They won multiple tournaments continuously, and so they're actually not as inexperienced together as we might think, because they've been playing together for a very long time already.
And we have this reoccurring theme of carries being replaced, right? Like it's same in SCA. It's everywhere. I don't know what's happening.
We spoke about how every support gets replaced. Nowadays it's all the carries.
It's all the carries, exactly. Like I think we're really reaching that point in which teams understand and organizations understand that your support duo is the foundation of the team.
Yeah.
Like when you break that apart, you break everything. Because usually those two players are the most hardworking ones. They're the ones that are taking notes. They're the ones that are devising strategies. They're the ones that are bringing the team together, telling everyone what they need to be doing, at least when it comes to the strategical part of the game, the grand scheme of things, right?
Yeah. I mean, they definitely have to be more like diverse. If you're a core player, you play like 10 pub games a day, and you just want to get your mechanical skill up as high as you can.
That's it.
But you don't have to do like too much thinking.
And if you're a support, you have to get your mechanical skill, plus you have to be watching all the games, thinking about the movements, because it's not as straightforward. It's not as, let's look at it this way. Position 4 is not as intuitive as a core position 1. Like if you're a carry, you mass out 20 games, you get better by each one, just because your core skill increases and your movements become crispier, faster. As a support, like it's all about thinking. It's a mind game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to say it, because you don't get better at anything without thinking about it. And the core players, they're just thinking about, what do I farm? They're looking at their screens and, they say, okay, my GPM's a little lower this game. What do I do to raise that? Where do I farm? What do I hit? What fights do I join? And then the questions which the supports have to ask themselves are much harder. I think what makes the best possible support player is one that knows the right questions to ask themselves when watching a replay or when playing a game. That's what it comes down to. And these guys, they ask good questions, let me tell you.
If you're a position 4 and you're playing a game, it feels like this might be a bit too gruesome, but you're in a body and there's ruptures everywhere, and you have to figure out where you need to go to save that artery from bleeding out. When on the other side, you just have some it doesn't matter what happens on the safe lane as long as your off lane does well, so you can pressure the mid game, right? Like things like that. You really have to figure out where the pressure points are and where they're necessary in the early game.
Nice curveball of an analogy to start us off here, Lizard. I like it. I like it. Keeping things fruity.
Yeah, I need to shake things up a little bit. Actually, T1 with the bans like Dragonite, something that Fnatic has played with the Wisp as well on mid lane and with the LC. But I love their draft for multiple reasons. This Enchantress is really strong in the lane versus both of these heroes, versus Wisp combos and versus Elder Titan, because the Spirit right now is like you can dispel it. So one enchant on him and he loses that 100 damage that he usually deals with his right clicks.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you can also just get a Purge Creep to do the same thing, or you can get like... I mean, Enchantress has always been a lane dominator, and a Puck, which we have seen first phase banned every game yesterday.
Yeah.
It is through the second phase.
Yep.
Yeah, like the styles are so different already. I'm loving it. It's like pure aggression from both teams. We spoke about it, how bloodthirsty this region is.
T1, I believe they won versus Fnatic or versus TNC, not sure, but twice with PA and Magnus, so PA is banned out. I think PA is one of carries that we haven't seen yesterday, but is extremely strong right now as well, not played enough. Yeah. Puck, it's not only a pick that's good for T1, but it's a block pick because you don't want that Puck versus Pango as well. It can be a little bit problematic to play into.
I mean, Puck is just like one of the strongest heroes in Dota right now, and he has the best Aghanim upgrade in the game. It's just always a solid pick. He can off lane, he can mid lane. Some people even play him +4.
Yeah. Witchblade is really nice. Yeah,
Witchblade,
some fun items you can build. You can give yourself like the crazy wave clear potential, not just with the Maelstrom and the phase shift talent, but also if you go for the increased magic damage, you can just clear creep waves with a Q and a W, which is insane. So yeah, very strong.
This draft of T1 has so much teamfight potential.
It really does.
Like, it's so good. I love it. Like Fnatic, they need to be very careful in these laning stages, because if the laning stage goes poorly for them, suddenly T1 is the one setting the tempo. And when you have a teamfight composition team that sets the tempo, they'll fight you every time off cooldowns, right? Like every time they have that tag, every time they have that Rolling Thunder, and you won't find your stride ever as a Monkey King. They need some more teamfights on Fnatic, which they don't have at all at the moment.
Also, you mentioned earlier about the Enchantress being able to purge off the Elder Titans buff. It can purge off the Monkey King's buff as well, right? It can purge off Jingu.
It's just a strong laner versus him. That's
scary.
the problem.
Yeah.
It's a strong laner overall versus him. And Phoenix is even better. It's, for me, one of the... Okay, not one of the best heroes, but let's say tier 2 list heroes versus Monkey King, because you slow his attack speed and you can even take him off trees with your dive. So it's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, Fnatic is going all in lanes pretty much. Like, they have 3 extremely strong laners, but as you said, their teamfight potential is severely lacking right now. They just have no like proper stuns, no ways to keep them in place.
Boundless strike, that's it.
Yeah,
but your lanes are countered. Like that's how I see it.
Countered. They're pretty. It's going to be a rough game, because we said they don't have team fights, so they need to be able to split push a lot with the IO, of course. But I feel like a Puck is the perfect answer to that already. Yep. Like, you get coiled, there's no saving from that.
And the way Puck is played right now, at least everywhere else in the world that we have watched, is travels, right? You buy those travels literally first item after a few nulls and bottle, and then you can prevent split pushes all day long.
Legion.
It's the same draft. It's the same draft they've had before.
Yeah.
Some switch ups, right? No DK, Monkey, no techies, Elder Titan, but Wisp LC. And the general idea is the same.
But it's tough though. Like, again, I feel Pango already kind of counters Legion. You duel someone, you just disarm him, and suddenly he's like just standing there.
Just looking at each other. Hey buddy, how's it going? Yeah,
like,
pretty good. Just in a duel.
I feel like this T1 draft is coming together much better so far. Like, there's a lot of synergy going on, whereas Fnatic, you know, they're kind of just playing the lanes right now, it feels like. But the lanes are already gonna be tough, I feel.
They ban out the Troll. That's something that they don't want to play against. Obviously, the Legion Commander in the lane won't do extremely well. Same goes for the Monkey later on because of the blind, because of the mischance.
Yeah.
And what T1 really needs right now is a solid hard carry. That's it. They just need to round up their draft with a solid hard carry, and they're set. They're good to go.
Yeah, that's the thing which I was about to mention as well. You know, T1, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, like, I just look at this draft and I'm like, what carry would I want to play here? There's so much stuff, you know. Like, do you agree, Black, as a carry player? Do you look at this draft and think, I want to play with that draft?
I mean,
Like,
it's very free, yes,
be a
but at the
carry,
same time, a lot of carries have been banned out already.
A lot of carries have been banned out, and remember, you're playing versus Elder Titan, which prevents you from doing something like a Morphling, probably. You're playing also versus LC, so some melee heroes might be difficult there in the lane.
Yeah, like Juggernaut.
Yeah,
Can't pick that.
yeah, you don't want that. You don't want to die to one Blade Mail Blink duel.
It's a tough pick.
It's a tough pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Like on second thought, like it's not really that easy to pick the right hard carry here.
But probably only for the lane. Like after the lane, there will be a ton of space for
Yeah.
sure. But you don't want to get steamrolled by LC IO
LC.
because that can easily happen. If you pick a Juggernaut, you are more than likely not going to have a lane at all for like 7-8 minutes. So you have to be really careful with this pick.
is
I'm
Wraith
looking
King
at
banned, by the way?
it. Wraith King is not banned. No.
That has to be a consideration with
Yeah,
T1
but
here,
I
right?
feel like it's either a Drow Ranger, which is really good against this like LC IO. Kind of
I was thinking Arc
Arc
actually.
one,
They,
yeah.
they ban out the Arc.
Like definitely, I feel like a range carry would be my choice if possible.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to play melee carry against LC IO.
Yeah, same goes for Wraith King, by the way. Like you said, it's a top tier carry right now, but it's not that great in this game. You're playing into Monkey and LC. LC, like those Kellys are worthless in the lane. They actually help the LC. So
Yeah, let's see. I mean, Jackie likes to play Drow Ranger as well, so I'm expecting a Drow, but we'll see. Maybe they'll surprise us. Or it's actually Fnatic picking first. What do they need? They need a good mid laner.
So from the last games, T1, they played Arc, TB, they played some Venge Drow, and Magnus Jux.
Skywrath core? Or is it Titan core?
Interesting.
Mid
Yeah,
Skywrath against
interesting.
Puck
Is
is
mid
not that
Sky?
good because you can phase shift all the spells.
Yeah, right. But you can, maybe you can still dominate him if you spam out your spells, and you have this combo with Legion.
Yeah.
Right?
But this is core Skywrath, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I actually
Wow.
don't mind Score Skyrat, and I'm surprised that only OG has been picking it up recently because it's such a small change in the last couple of patches that happened, but it means so much to this hero. That's mana regen on null talismans.
Yeah.
Like, because you want those null talismans all the time. And this hero always struggled because when you're a core, you go on the map, you get the kill, you go straight back base because you don't have any mana, right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
talismans actually allow you to play the map constantly, which is a huge improvement for him.
But on second thought, I think it's going to be an IO carry, actually. And a mid monkey, which matches up quite well against Puck. Because they want to dodge the... Like, Monkey doesn't want to play against the Phoenix, I think.
No, that's true as well. They go
So
with
they
the
do
Wraith
go
King.
for the Wraith King, okay.
There it is. There it is.
You called it, Nomad. I don't like it, but it is top tier carry right
It's
now.
a little scary. Like, even if you lose lane with Wraith King, though, you can farm very fast in the jungle.
Yeah, it's Raven Wisp, you were right.
So it's carry IO. Yeah.
Carry
and
IO.
+4 Skywrath. Yeah. And then they put the monkey middle. Yeah, they just wanted to dodge the bad Phoenix monkey matchup.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
terrible matchup.
Now, my question is, how experienced are you as a core Wisp? Right? Like, you are 11,000 MMR. That's true. That's great. But core Wisp is something different.
Yeah, I'm sure they practiced it quite a lot because they first picked it. So,
Yeah.
you know, like in an
They wanted
important
to
game like
flex
this,
it.
they're not just
Yeah.
gonna like run into it and be like, okay, play this. Can you play this? Yeah, I played it like once or twice in a pub game.
All right, guys. I would like to hear your predictions before we throw it across to those casters. So let's give me the breakdown on what you think very quickly.
So my biggest concern is the Wraith King carry and how he'll match up in the lane. Besides that, I love their draft and I think it's stronger. So I think if Wraith King, level 4, whatever, get 2 levels of Skellies, just go to the jungle. If he doesn't get dominated way too hard and if he leaves the lane early enough, I think this is their game. I think the team fight potential is just way too high.
I mean, I said like, you know, you made me choose between the 3 teams. I said T1, so I have to stick with T1 no matter what. No choice.
Every single series is going to be on T1, T1, T1.
No
Let's go.
choice.
Alrighty.
My hands are bound.
Your hands are bound, your hands are tied. Alrighty, well, I think I've got to go for the Wraith King, unfortunately. I do think that the lane matchup is not as bad as it used to be into Legion Commander. You know, I think with the crit, it makes it so you can just come in, but of course the Skeleton's going to be a factor. There's so many factors in this one. It's an IO core. These guys are just coming out of the barracks, absolutely swinging it. It's going to be a pleasure to watch, and it's going to be a pleasure to listen to with these lovely, lovely casters. BQ up and Lacoste, take it away.
Thank you very much, Nomad. Back with Lacoste, new region. First game of the day should be good. Carry Wisp.
Yeah, I
Thoughts?
mean, we're in for a treat, you know. Southeast Asia, upper division, starting. Always liked the region, never had the opportunity, like, to dive deep into it. And now's the chance, you know, to get all these players and teams better. I know Black, he's also considered like a Southeast Asian player. He played for T1 for like 12, 13 days. A pretty experienced player. I can see why he's so sentimental about the team, you know. These are his boys. They're
Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Monkey King.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team back.
Legion Commander!
remaining. Dire team pick.
Skywrath Mage.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Wraith King.
Choose your hero.
So what if I swagger? Take a
The
knee
greatest
as a
tragedy of our eon.
Prepare for battle.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Nomad. Back with Lacoste, new region. First game of the day, should be good. Carry Wisp.
Yeah, I
Thoughts?
mean, we're in for a treat, you know. Southeast Asia, upper division, starting. Always liked the region, never had the opportunity, like, to dive deep into it, and now's the chance. Players and peak better. I know Black, he's also considered a player. He played for 12, 13 days. A pretty experienced player. I can see why he's so sentimental about
Down
the
you go.
These are his boys. They're not.
you
But
go.
they're just there for
Seconds to battle.
line, but,
Tell them
whatever.
next time.
Yeah, let's dive into this one. Big up. So, Skywrath Mage, a bit of a different item build from what I see, where he gets like Mango, he has Observer Ward Sentries, starts with Concussive Shot. This is the spell that you need to get, like, yeah, most of the people probably think the Arcane Bolt, you know, 5-second cooldown spell, but with this you have a slow, and this is the spell that scales the best, so you're probably just gonna...
What about this carry IO? Thoughts on this? Panel was talking about how they were thinking maybe it's a
So
flex.
what if I
It's just
swagger?
Now it ends up being in the one position.
A game of some sort.
It's still a thing. Like, we can nerf the Wisp in whatever way. Someone will always find chance to play a carry Wisp, position 5, position 4, mid, because like a lot of things change in patch, but you know, some things kind of stay the same. The matchup that I'm looking into is the mid matchup, where this is like melee into range hero, and Puck right now is probably like one of the top tier picks, because the hero can really scale. Like he's getting so much out of the new items, especially the Witchblade.
Yeah.
Like this is also the item that you know, the damage can be amplified by spell amp, so it's really, really good.
Seems like you've now got a bit more options if you're playing Puck.
Yeah, you can choose whether you want to go like the damage dealing route, or you want to go the spell amp route. Like phase shift attack, the 30 damage talent in level 10 and 15 is like extremely good. Like whatever you choose to go for, like it always feels like a good option. This is what I like about the hero.
You thinking we're gonna see DJ go more into the natural order than we saw the Elder Titan yesterday?
Oh, for sure. Like the yesterday's position 5 EP where he had 4-4-0-0 build is not a thing to do. You know, I actually messaged my boy Fogged after, because he is the best EP player in the world, you know, and he's like, yeah, that's definitely not the way to go.
It was interesting too, because the ET yesterday was landing a lot. Like the sweeps were 3 heroes, it felt like, at all times. You have that with a little bit more natural order, things get a little bit easier for you. It felt like the difference maker in a couple of fights where heroes walked away with 100, 200 health. Over towards this mid lane, and for the most part of that draft, we thought it might be safe lane Monkey King. How does he do in a matchup against the Puck?
So far, he's doing really well, better than I expected to be on. Like, Puck can't really pressure him that much. Monkey King is a hero that has a ton of armor, like 7+1, plus he gets 3 extra when he's standing near the tower, plus the extra regen. So he wants to have the lane back, like, on his high ground, if possible.
Continuing to feint that Boundless Strike. Trying to get that phase shift as often as possible, maybe give him an opportunity to play a little bit more aggressive. It's Monkey King.
Yes.
16-2 leads the CS, doing a great job. Over towards top, we take a look. Zephyr going after this Legion Commander. Jav's just trying to push him back as best he can with the Skywrath Mage, now picking point in that Arcane Bolt.
Surprise, Legion Commander does not have a point in press the attack. I think in this type of lane, you get 1 point in passive, and then you get like 1 or 2 points in press the attack, just to be able to like dispel things. Like the spell, the stun against the Phoenix is extremely good. But he's just going all in on damage. Like, they want to get some kills. Orb of Corrosion is ready.
And they want to go after Jackie. They've got the Icarus Dive coming through. Now Masaros is in a lot of trouble running the other way. He was the one playing the aggressive style on that. Trying to get out of the hands of these little skeletons. And now it's Jabs who gives up first blood.
This is why I said, like, I would love to see more points in press the attack, because you can remove the Fiery Spirits, and that gives you attack speed. You can trade much easier with the Raid King. I mean, it's good. Like, more Roman Gods is good, don't get me wrong, especially when the skeletons are spawned. Jackie, he seems pretty dead.
Yeah, playing it up front, pretty close to the tower, ends up dropping at Jabs. Masaros will be traded by Zephyr. Jabs can throw more Arcane Bolts the way of Zephyr, but it's not going to get the kill, and he's got a salve, so sit under the tower.
This is something that I like, you know. I'm playing that 5, my carry dies, I'm like, sorry bro, you know, you died, and then I get to farm the creep wave, I get the solo XP. It's one of those things that really benefit your position 5, especially if it's like a greedier 5 like Phoenix, who really relies on those levels.
Now, the quicker he gets to that 6, has that Supernova available, teamfight just gets that much better. Put that together with a Dream Coil, all of a sudden, a little bit into that mid game, you've got yourself a pretty substantial teamfight.
Oh, Puck could be in a bit of trouble if he decides to commit for that bounty rune. Sees Monkey King jumping on a tree. Time to bail.
Ends up just going back to the Pure 1 tower. 5 seconds till the bounty rune's available. Refill the bottle. Or, sorry, the power rune's available. Try to refill that bottle. This is really well played by Moon. Fantastic job over mid, still sitting top of the CS. very contested pick in the puck, kind of struggling a bit over in the mid lane.
DJ bottom dropping very low, but there's the salve.
And now Cuckoo's under the tower, but no rotations coming in from Fnatic just yet. I don't think anybody's really looking to rotate.
Yeah, you can see the difference in the skill build on ET, where like he's not even putting a second point in Astral Spirit. Playing into Enchantress is a bit tricky, where it just gets dispelled. Like that's changed like 2-3 patches ago.
Double damage.
Over, they do have the Phoenix
Pot
over
coil on
mid.
mid.
There's the coil for the Wukong's command, but gets silenced. Icarus dive over. They brought in the Skywrath Mage, so Jab's trying to help out his mid. Keep Moon alive.
I was about to say that I love the build on Moon. Like he's getting all these small items, a Raid Band, a Magic Wand, Raindrop, because he's playing into Puck matchup, and this is what keeps him alive.
Raindrop survives over mid, the rotation out. Zephyr had gone over mid, so did Jabs. Leaves the lane open for both Jackie and Masaros. And Masaros, 42 and 10.
Not too bad. This is the third Orb of Corrosion I see. Legion Commander finished one. There's one on Pangolier also. It's an item that Monkey King wants to buy. He's bringing something. Yes, it is. Orb of Corrosion. Just, you know, that minus armor. It works on Boundless Strike. I feel like it's one of the better items you can get on Pango, because, of course, it works with your Swashbuckle.
Is it one of the best newer items to come out?
On some heroes, I feel like it's a big debate. Like, you feel like you need to get it, finish it. But sometimes you really don't. Like, it's not that cheap as it seems.
Zephyr in trouble, goes to the Icarus dive. Arcane Bolt coming his way. Does have that stick to pop, but Masaros doesn't want to give up on this kill. Gives chase for a second. He's hit with those spirits. He backed away.
I want to see Puck being more active, possibly on the side lanes, play with the Pangolier. Right now, Pango is extremely strong, just bringing the Power Threads, Orb of Corrosion. Pretty hard to take down. A bit worried for Fnatic's lineup, where they don't have enough, like, lockdown. Yeah, they have a couple of slows. They don't have that reliable stun, you know? You don't have that hero that just starts a team fight until, let's say, Legion Commander gets a Blink Dagger, but that's gonna take a while.
The Wraith Fire Blast to work with.
Where are you
See
going?
how important the Ancient Seal becomes from Jabs, too. Feels like there's a couple targets that he wants to go to as DJ drops bottom, but rotation from Jabs and Moon coming in with Raven. Trying to trade and maybe one and look for a second on Cuckoo.
Oh, that's a nice time stun.
Balance Strike comes through, stops the Rolling Thunder for just a second. Jackie has come towards the bottom lane, throws a Wraith Fire Blast into the Monkey King. Moon looks for the Wukong, stops it, and holds it. Carl's in, and he drops the Dream Coil onto the Skywrath. Waning Rift silences him up. Jab's on the run. Masaros is here. Carl needs to find a way out, but the Boundless Strike, that's going to land. They have the duel. Do they have the damage to get the kill? They do.
All right, so we see 9 people 9 minutes in at the Tier 1 tower at the bottom. This is what I want to see now. Southeast Asian Dota, we're going to see a lot of stuff like this, a lot of aggression. Teams want to take fight, they want to take initiative, and I'm liking what I see.
Everybody bottom. The party. Jackie? What's the difference between the Chinese region and the Southeast Asia? It's not on LAN, so everybody's still playing online. Pauses, a quick pause. I was told that describe every 5 seconds or 5 minutes.
Yeah, you do not want to lose the viewers. Like, this is going to take not more than 30 seconds, trust me. So, yeah, Raid King kind of struggling, I would say, as expected, considering the lane that he was playing into is just maxing out the Skellies, not even point in Mortal Strike. I think, like, Mortal Strike is probably his best ability, where it's 260 crit on 4-second cooldown. That's pretty insane, but in this scenario, he needs to get those Skellies up to be able to actually farm. Like, this is something that increases. I'm not a big fan of 2 points in Wraith Fire Blast, because, you know, there isn't too much kill potential, and now you're just jungling with 2 points in it, so kind of a wasted point in my opinion.
Sitting below Raven by a couple hundred. Bottom half of the... Not a spot you really want.
Radiant's middle
Yep, 10
tower
minutes.
is under
Bounty
attack.
runes are there. Being 2 apiece. But where does it go from here? You've got Monkey King, Moon, who's sitting top of the net worth, and you've got Legion Commander, who gets that first dual damage. Okay, they're trying to work with that duel constantly. Keep the aggression maybe on the puck.
I mean, it's a good start for Legion Command. Like, he had
Radiant's
one
bottom
duel
tower
won
is
before
under attack.
10-minute mark, which is always going to be good. You know, it's giving you that confidence boost. And look at what he has queued up, Chipped West. Like, they don't even have the item, but he has it in the quick buy. Like, I want to get this item. Budget Blade Mail works really well with him.
Now it's on the courier.
Radiant's bottom
Coming
tower
over.
has
We
fallen.
were giving some talk to the Chip Vest before the day started. 3.5 HP regen. So hearing that it might not be that great of a neutral.
Yeah, it's not the best item. It got buffed in the previous patch. I still feel it's really not that great. Mid lane.
Trouble. Dropping a Cuckoo.
I do not fix
Cuckoo
broken
gets committed
things.
for
I
the
merely dispose
5-position Elder Titan, so that bit of their team fight expended just for the Elder Titan. Now the rotation's coming in from Fnatic. The jab's already sitting low. They've got the Wukong Smack. Faro will drop here. Sunray's not going to be on top of him. It's going to save him, and it's really not doing much to Moon, who sits back in the Wukongs, but they still have 4 heroes right by the tower ready to go. They drop the Supernova. They have the Rolling Thunder. Getting onto Moon just once. And now that the Supernova is used, Fnatic, they're probably going to want to chase this. They've got the Balance Strike. They'll hit the Wraith King, find themselves Cuckoo. Great sweep hitting onto the Pangolier that sets up the duel. Earth Splitter flies in, and it's enough to get another duel victory for this Legion Command.
Fnatic might not have like the best initiation lineup, but man, their counter initiation is pretty strong. Like, you have Relocate Out, you have Press the Attack, you have ET. He's probably one of the best ones, like to just stomp any kind of aggressiveness that the enemy team is trying to make. And yeah, I like what I see from DJ. Like 3 points in Echo Stomp. Already said that he doesn't need to put an extra one in Natural Spirit because the landing stage against the Enchantress, it gets dispelled. 1 point in Order and Earth Splitter as well. You know, to zone people out. It also deals not as much damage right now as it does at the later stages of the game, but still like the spell that you need to get. So he's just gonna max out that Echo Stomp and probably just max out Aura after that.
You think just willingly using that Dream Coil was a bit of a problem? Hold on, stabs, pushed up on. Whitemon will grab the kill on the Skyrath Mage. Masaros thinking about going in. He's got Raven right here. The duel he used on Akaru. He dropped the Dream Coil. Can they get the kill in time? Yes, they can. More dual damage going the way of the Legion Command, but the Rolling Thunder comes in from Cuckoo. Not landing, splitting the seams of the Radiant side. Now on back towards the tower. But again, Fnatic, they're always looking for this counter initiation. That's just how they played the mid fight. You come in with the Dream Coil and it doesn't do much for you on T1. Well, Fnatic are going to make you pay, and they've already done so twice with it.
I wouldn't say like the problem is Puck getting foiled, but Puck is not getting too much out of the map right now. Legion Commander same amount of farm as Puck at the moment. I think the problem was in the previous fight where the Sun Ray didn't come like straight away, so Puck would be able to actually live and maybe even use his spells multiple times, but that didn't happen. And now Puck kind of struggling, you know, still going for that Witchblade, which is an insanely good item. I feel like the timing for it is not going to be the greatest.
That kill onto the Phoenix and another duel victory. Raven
This is sick, like
40 damage.
14 minutes in is just too good. 1,000 gold away from a Blink Dagger. A bit worried for T1 at the moment. Like, good thing going for them is Pangolier has Maelstrom already done, I believe. Just needs to use the Courier, and they don't have any abilities that can stop Pangolier's Rolling Thunder. So that's gonna be be a bit of an issue. Wraith King, Hand of Midas, into Armlet. There's also no mana burn for Wraith King, so his ulti is pretty much always going to be available. But the timing, this is what Fnatic is looking into. Like Monkey King's BKB timing, plus Io's Aghanim Scepter on top of the Helm of the Dominator. That's a lot of damage. And then they can start putting some pressure on Tier 1 tower on the mid lane, possibly after getting a kill or two, turn that into Roche.
Blink Dagger available from Saros, then you can lead with the Blink Duel. It's already 1-4, and that's without the Blink Dagger, and be able to find better positioning to go for more. It feels like a decent spot for, more than decent spot for Misaros to be in. Got Raven who's leading the net worth. Things kind of fall off a little bit to the Monkey King and then the Legion, but still, despite the fact that they're behind 1K, feels like they're leading the charge at least right now in the game. Try to bring this over. They've got the Dream Coil out on the jabs. Catch him. Rolling Thunder committed to this as well. To secure them a kill. They're looking for Misaros. Dancing around those trees. Looking to not get hit by the Rolling Thunder, which ends right before he gets up onto Misaros, who's disarmed for the moment. The TPs are coming through from Fnatic. The question is whether or not they're going to be in time. They also have the relocate. And now, again, here comes the counter initiation. They've got the Supernova down. It's about to pop, but not in time. Cuckoo. He is trying to TP out and will be successful in doing so. The Supernova looked well placed. It just
it did, but then they brought more numbers and they had nothing to defend the egg with. Like Pangler is a really, really good egg defender with either a disarm or just a Rolling Thunder.
All this is happening. The bottom tier 2 for Fnatic is down to 500 health. Pushing in is the Wraith King Skeletons.
To go back to the talk about like ET, this is something that makes a difference. Like your skill build, we're talking about the game yesterday in Chinese region where ET had like 4-4-0 build on position 5 ET. But look at this, you have Max Stomp, you have 2 points in Aura, plus you have Earth Splitter on the level 8. So I'd choose this anytime.
Misaros and DJ will smoke, picking up that Blink Dagger, looking to debut it. Finding a spot to go for this duel. There are a couple heroes from T1 just sitting in the Radiant jungle, namely Cuckoo. I believe Radiant does not have vision on them, so smoking and trying to go in blind at the moment.
They're just trying to get a pick off. Legion Commander plus Skywrath Mage is enough pretty much to kill anyone at this point. But as I said, their timing is BKB on Monkey plus Aghanim Scepter on Io. A bit of out of sync. Io will finish Aghanim Scepter. Monkey still needs like 500 gold. And they also have a Blink Dagger, a shiny new one on LC.
We've been seeing a lot of Monkey Kings go into the Battle Fury Ags. Is that just something you don't do?
I mean, Battle Fury Ags is too greedy. Ags is more than fine because it gives you that tower damage, it gives you like farm ability, more team fight presence. He still might go back to it after getting a BKB, but they have no abilities that pierce magic immunity, so I can understand why Moon is going for it.
Just getting 100 more gold, and then he'll have BKB ready to go.
Once BKB is up, push out the lanes, smoke up, try to get a pick off. Legion plus Sky, deadly combo. This is something that the Fnatic is looking to do in the next few minutes. But T1, farming, Wraith King on top of net worth. He is the hero that really flash farms. His Kellys are maxed out. And yeah, things are working out well for them right now. So Puck, double damage pop. Witchblade is up. Let's see which route he takes. 30 damage talent. Okay, so we know what he wants to do.
Deal as much damage as possible. Might be able to find Jackie, spot this Wraith King, and there's the duel. Big Square right on top of him. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now with 50 duel damage, they drop down the Wukongs. They try to kill off Jackie a second time and are successful in it. Cuckoo just a little bit late with the Rolling Thunder.
Still wouldn't make a difference. because they already killed him once, they dueled him, got the damage, and once he respawns, like, there is no real counterplay. Right now, Fnatic feels really, really strong. Keep fighting with Io. I like what I see. The item build, jabs.
Trouble, Sunray on top of him, he'll burn out. Elder Titan looking next, Supernova on the back lines of this. Moon hits the balance strike onto Carl. They're trying to get the kill into the puck, but they just don't have the control for the moment. They get the kill into Zephyr, they're going to take out one. They already have Wraith King out of the fight. Cuckoo trying to man fight as he'll finish off Raven, losing his life to the Solos, but now they've got Duel again, but the victory is there for Whitemon. Thanks for the 20 damage. Moon will still chase. Try to kill this Enchantress. Finishes him off with the balanced strike, and now it's Carl v Moon on a 1v1. Although Jackie might have something to say about this.
What do you think about it? 20 damage is not a joke. On a hero like Enchantress, she already deals a ton of right-click damage with that impetus, which is maxed out. Still feel like Fnatic's teamfight is much, much stronger when Monkey King has ulti. That fight, they didn't have Duel, they didn't have Monkey King's ulti, they did not have Earth Splitter. So if it's like full 5-on-5 engagement, it's really, really strong. Like, Monkey can deal with the egg, especially if Legion Commander uses Presty attack, and they have nothing. Again, that pierces through magic immunity, so probably Monkey King's job is going to be to try to take out that Supernova.
Did just that in that fight. Cuckoo ending up killing off Raven, and this was, again, for the most part, without Jackie involved. He was killed earlier as they found him twice bottom. Tough for T1. I think that fight goes a little bit better if they've got the Wraith King, especially without everything they have. But now this time, win one duel against me, shame on you. Or shame on me. I forget how the saying goes. Either way, there's more duel damage.
Shame on whoever loses the duel, I think. That's it.
Won't be getting 20 from me anymore. Especially when we've got Mystic Flare available. They're still looking to pressure the tier 1 tower. T1 looking to defend. They come in. Everybody but the Enchantress, who's up in 8.
That's why they're called T1. You know, they defend their tier 1 towers.
Still got 2 up. Winning the T1 battle at the moment. Still up about 1,000 net worth. However, Raven leading in net worth. Moon catching up. He's right there with the Wraith King. Who, Jackie, he's got Blink, Armlet, Midas. Now going into the AC and BKB.
Still, I can't say I felt the influence of the Wraith King, like his power in this game. He's involved in only 1 kill, and that's the kill from the laning stage. Oh, this is a good target to eliminate.
On Masaros, they'll try to get the Legion Commander, and I think once they saw that, they started to back off on Fnatic, except for Moon. Taking some right clicks, gets low, just able to TP out.
Legion Commander really needs to be careful about positioning, because if they take him out as the first target, there is no attack speed for the egg, and there's no counterplay like the silence, the stuns, disarms, and like that he's going for BKB straight away. No Blade Mail, has that budget Blade Mail in Chip West, so just having a BKB is kind of a must-have. Io also getting 1, which I really like, so once they get those 3 BKBs, the fights are going to be so much easier for them to take. Like, they can choose who they want to kill. Like, because there's nothing that goes through. Phoenix is level 12, so that means Supernova 8 hits the kill, which makes a lot of difference. But whoever like wins the next fight is just probably going to go into Roche Pit unless, you know, we have 1 versus 1 hero left in the end, which we've seen a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, Zephyr going like he's taken over in the priority for experience and farm over Whitemon. He started up towards top, but he's now level 13. Like you said, 8 shots. It definitely could be a difference maker. Some of these Supernovas that have died have been pretty close, especially the one up top. That one had an extra hit or 2. Would have definitely gone off. Moon just about to finish the Desolator on this Monkey King. Balance Strike comes through, but Waning Rift silences up the Monkey King. They're going to go for this. Swashbuckle, Icarus dive. BKB's been popped by Moon. They have the Rolling Thunder coming through from Cuckoo. They also drop down the Dream Coil. Moon TP's away. Still might find jabs, and they have themselves a Wraith Fire Blast with Rolling Thunder bouncing them up into the air and eventually finishing them off. So Jackie with the kill. That's his first kill of the game.
Yep. Pangolier pinging out the Roche. Like, yeah, we can take it. Not sure if the rest of the team agrees. Monkey King, no Wukongs, no BKB. And it's also very hard to just straight up go into Roche pit against the Elder Titan. Because, yeah, this is what's going to happen. But Ice Frog says, you know, I'll bless this team with casual double damage on Raid King.
This is way easier. Downless strike, Whitemon getting blown up. They'll go for the Supernova, and, well, now they have to retreat. See if Fnatic go in for this. They've got the duel. They'll drop the Mystic Flare right down on a Cuckoo. They get the kill to the Pangolier. The Icarus dive away. Carl and Jackie trying to fight the Legion Commander. They've got the silence with the Waning Rift. They'll finish off Masaros. But now Jackie is in a bad position. The double damage is about to run out. Might lose his first fight. Killing off DJ. The damage is too much for the BKB pop by Moon. They'll go for the second one. Have the silence. Do they have the damage? Carl hitting away, but just not doing enough to save this Wraith King. Dream Coil plays down. Wrong started coming in from Cuckoo, who bought back. They'll snap it, even keeping Moon at a decent level of health. Now they'll try to turn. They've disarmed Raven. Sunray right on top of the two of them. Moon burning down low. Impetus shots coming in. Whitemon takes him out.
Whitemon kills the Moon, but a couple of buybacks expended on both sides. Like, Puck is just food. If Skywrath Mage gets the Ancient Seal on him, it's a 6-second duration silence. There is no counterplay. Like, you do not have a Yule Scepter. I see a Lincoln Sphere being queued up. Maybe Yule Scepter would have been a better choice. You know, it's a cheaper item to get, and it can also, like, dispel Monkey King. You can dispel press the attack, wait to, like, protect the egg, and you have your own way to get rid of the silence. But he's thinking, yeah, maybe I just need something against the duel.
Feels
it's a lot of gold.
Yeah.
You know, Lincoln Sphere, hard to get, especially if you died 2 times in a row.
They don't even end up getting that Roche. They were granted the double damage, but Fnatic, again, looking like their counterplay has just been pretty stellar. You see this, I guess the comparison, you see it in boxing, a counterpuncher.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the other side to attack. Go land that counter uppercut.
It's a different style, you know. Like, you can think about it in Dota, considering the lineup that you have. You can't, like, right now it doesn't matter that much because you have that Legion Commander with a Blink Dagger, but before Legion had the Blink, you would mostly just, you know, counter initiate, see what your opponent is doing, and then just react to that.
Mm-hmm. Going for that Ags now that Desolator. Legion Commander, like we said, BKB.
Middle tower is under attack.
A couple of items being built here for Fnatic that we'll see if they change up these fights maybe a little bit.
Io
thinking Kaya Hart.
Yeah, not too bad, you know. It's also Sanj Kaya. Sanj is completed, just needs to be delivered because Overcharge now gives spell amplification, and you're mostly relying on the spirits to deal the damage. So you kind of understand what he's going for. It could be like a new build since the recent change to Overcharge.
He's out his move, heading his way towards the top.
Tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower
Quiet
has fallen.
for the last 2 minutes or so. Seems like both teams have gotten a little bit complacent and just backing up for a moment and farming, pushing up the lanes a little bit.
Everyone's just being careful about the Roche. If you kill 2 heroes without casualties, the enemy team needs to fall back, and it's kind of free Roche for you. We also had a couple of buybacks in the previous fight, so both teams playing very cautious at the moment.
KB. Vale has Yules. It'll be a long way till he gets that BKB though. Gold for. Two significant items. See, again, just adding hits needed. might be the difference maker in these
now
fights.
that I'm thinking about it, like Heart on Io makes so much sense because it doesn't have this out of combat. Like you have the constant region on Heart back.
Headband. Who's taking that?
It could be Sky. You know, have a way of pushing enemies away from you, and the cast range is really nice. Also, extra and
Swashbuckle coming through. Balance strike on the Cuckoo. Taking a lot of damage. Probably BKB. They have the suit coming in. Now the duel with the leading commander looking like he's going to lose that one. Jackie's got himself some damage. Got the Supernova. That pops. And now the Druid to follow it up. This fight going pretty well for T1 for the moment. And they clean up. DJ chasing Whitemon. Tether from Raven to Moon. Aro trying to jump back in, and now Loser Orb out. Just a 1-for-1.
Monkey King is back in.
And getting low. The spirits just do it on the long range. Far away from the Monkey King, but it doesn't mean the spirits aren't going to grab you. Now they're back in a Roche. Everything's been used for T1.
Fnatic might need to reset. Wait for BKBs to come back online. Don't fully commit to this Roche. They still have ton of region with, you know, Io. They also need Legion Commander. Legion bought back in the previous fight, so that's why it's taking pretty much forever to respawn.
Going forward, Jackson stun. Moon in trouble. Sorry, on him. They'll take out Moon. Now he buys back. Roche getting low. Can they snap Aegis away? Jackie snatching the Aegis. That's because Radiant gets that kill. The Inquisitor die over. They take out Jax. T1 come out with an Aegis, and now they're going to find their hands around the neck of DJ. Try to get this kill, but the Elder Titan just too fast for Jackie.
Reload out. This is why I said that they need to reset their BKB timing. This might be the game.
Victory jumps in. Sorry for the suit from DJ. Couldn't kill him, Arrow. Here and now he's impactful.
Reincarnation not to 5, but not fast enough. Wow. Okay, so with this move, they're back in the game.
Look at the Aegis. Takes out a second time. They've got the dual Cuckoo jumping. Both balance strike gets Zephyr. They want Cuckoo. Rolling Thunder away with BKB Popeye Moon. He was able to take out the Phoenix. They were looking for a Whitemon. The attention went towards the Phoenix and scurries away.
Moon at least got 2 kills after that buyback. They didn't get the Aegis. A bit of a mistake from Fnatic there to choose that Roche fight instead of just waiting a couple of seconds and then reinitiating. Also, Legion Commander was about to respawn, but they got the best out of it. Also, T1 overextending a bit. Great King probably had a false sense of security where he thinks, yeah, I have Aegis, I have my reincarnation back up in a couple of seconds. Then they blow him up twice so fast.
Duel on a Carl. Win that. He comes through. Almost gets Masaros, but the sleep is what gives him the first life pop. And Wukon's command right on top of him, and the Earth Splitter, which was perfectly timed.
That was just... it's so hard to time.
Really, really well played by the E. +1 on the...
You know why? Because he does not have 4-4-0 build. It's a good ability.
Maybe Popeye Moon. Still cheap. Look at this. Out Moon, they forgot. Heroes down bottom. Everybody after T1. Dead for 107 seconds.
I see what he's doing. You know, he just wants to use that extra respawn timer right now. Does not want to save it for later. Because I don't think T1 will be able to just push the high ground. Yeah, they have a minute and a half. Probably will try to pressure it a bit. But against ET, let's see how the big boy can hold the high ground. Here it comes, the Spirit.
Bottom tower is under attack. Top tower is under attack.
Everything, and then Another victory from Asar. It's got 140 damage.
And push suddenly stopped. Monkey's out in 50. Don't think they will try to go for another high ground. This is why ET is probably the best counter-initiation hero in the game. Finally, Puck also has a Lincoln Sphere, so doesn't have to care too much about that like dual initiation, and they don't have too many spells that they can remove the Lincolns with.
Tower is under attack.
No BKB. And silence on the Legion Commander with Wing Rip. They have the kill. They have the Dream Coil kill off jab. Taking out the second. Earthquake flies in. Washbuckle looking over towards DJ. Make it a chain feed. Like, they done such a great job defending the Tier 1 tower, and then they decide to defend the Tier 2 tower for no reason. A little bit too far.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's an opportunity to go back to the Tier 3 bottom. We've got 2 heroes up against the 5 of T1. We'll see how willing they are to progress this. The Monkey King respawns. Moon. Presence enough. Back away. Key? The eyes, they both back away. Dream Coil.
Okay, Fnatic should just, you know, hold the high ground. Moon in a bit of a trouble if Breaking finds him.
Then they want to go for Jack. Trying to bring in Raven to them. The Jack kills on that same top BKB. He's on the top, trying to survive. Walks away. Really close to grabbing that kill onto the Raven King. That could be disastrous.
Now, Fnatic was playing so well first 25 minutes of the game, and a couple of bad decisions put them in the spot. Like, they decided to try to defend the Tier 2 tower. They could also play the Roche fight a bit differently. Now Monkey King uses Wukongs while a Legion Commander is dead. I think they want like too much stuff like to happen at the moment when it's not available.
Goldberg. Really moving forward, picked up that Deso, the BKB ready to go. Now he's going to get the
Radiant's
Ag.
top tower is under attack.
But we were talking about that Ag. Much better.
That buyback really cost him a lot.
Up towards top with Zephyr, the rest of the team coming in. Cuckoo join in with Jackie.
Radiant's top tower is under
Picked up his own.
Here I am.
One to have at the point of the game.
Radiant's
Against
top
3
tower has
BKBs,
fallen.
it's really, really good. Black on the panel said this is the best Ags in the game. I don't think it's like the best one, but it's definitely Tier 1 Aghanim Scepter.
For the Wraith King, or at least Roche up in potentially a minute and 23 seconds. T1 postured towards the pit and ready to take on Fnatic if they come out a little bit too far. And we saw that when went to the Tier 2 tower, how that fight for T1 went. Elder Titan next. Crafter picked up by the Monkey King. They're close. Hold on to that too.
It's not a bad item. Like on certain heroes, like the assassin type heroes, the evasion is really good. Invis is really good, but it also gives evasion and magic resistance, which kind of dope. Also, none of the heroes bought Shard this game. 40 minutes in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Any Shard that you think is of value in this game? Tangle here. They kill off Cuckoo. Whitemon and Jackie are looking like they're retreating. So Jackie turns on Raven for a second, goes one right click. There's Great Fire Blast onto Moon. They fall back on Cuckoo. Whitemon moving forward. Carl's here. Supernova right on top of a Storm. That pops and the Dream Coil comes down onto Raven. Jackie with the Great Fire Blast. That hits on the Monkey King once again. They're looking for the world better committed from Cuckoo, but Jackie gets low. From that curve right with the Wukong's man is right on top of him. BKB but once again pops the BKB. He's on the run. Moon trying to chase. He's got the King with the waiting rifting on the IO as well. The Monkey King now right on top of Raven. Downward strike hits the back line, gets onto Carl. Whitemon throwing some of it in.
region.
And now Jackie and Zephyr, they get close. They'll take out White.
Man,
the rest. Zephyr gets hit with the spirits. He's out of this one for 79. Link towards the base.
Jesus Christ, man.
Escape.
Talking about the region, click on the IO. We have Heart that got changed, so you have 1.6% max health region per second. That's quite nice, you know. You have Paladin Sword to amplify all that region, and then you have Kaya and Sanj that also gives 30% self HP region and lifesteal amp. So combine that with the overcharge that gives 16% spell amp and math. I would like to see some real math to see how much actual region IO was landing on that monkey in the previous fight. That was actually sick. They can't focus monkey. They need to straight up go and try to kill IO.
We need a math bit too. Us out real. Do the number. Crunch him. Give us a result. You got Raven now level 25. He's gone into the attacked feathered allies target. Does this change his build at all? He's going into the AC now.
Yeah, AC is more than fine. And now with the attack feathered allies target, it's quite nice, you know. One of the better 25 talents, I would say, especially when you play the core IO.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
That'll put Percussive Shot on a 9.8-second cooldown, Arcane Bolt on a 1.2-second cooldown, and the Silence, the Ancient Seal, 4.9-second cooldown, 6-second rating.
Not too bad, huh?
No, not bad at all.
So you can perma-silence people.
Is that like a spell prism? You pick that up, and now you think like 2 people, 4.9 seconds.
It's a possibility. Yeah, I see 4 staff queued up, which could make a lot more difference in a team fight than the Ags. Cheaper to get, of course, but if you push people out of the focus that like Raid King is trying to kill, it could make the difference.
More so ability help or staff terribly far away.
Even though like Fnatic is winning these team fights, they got the Roche, Cheese, Aegis, P1, still 4K gold ahead.
Spin that tier 3, taking a lot of damage. Just close. He's got 4,300 volts. Duel on a Carl with the Mystic Flare, another win. Masaros.
Me!
A lot of damage, now at a clean 200.
And pretty much the only spell they have to remove the Lincoln Sphere is Arcane Bolt. Yeah, 1.6 cooldown ability. So that's pretty nice. And they have Ancient Seal. Other than that, there's nothing.
Being available. You can really abuse that. Make sure that Lincoln almost never in play. You know for sure that you can pretty much pop it, right?
Yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Bissell,
attack.
Cuckoo, he was working on one as well. Multiple Abyssals, and then Carl going into the data.
Dire's bottom tower
more
has
damage.
fallen.
This is a problem. He's got buyback. He's dead for another 40 seconds. Fnatic are knocking on the door of the tier 3 bot. They're ready to go. They've got the Aegis in the hands of Moon. T1 defend. Are they willing to use that buyback? Hold it. Give up 1, 2, 3. Maybe a set of racks. Went on some trouble. Lincoln looking for this duel. He'll get it. He loses his life afterwards. And F5 comes out from Carl. The 3-4 will be dropped down the kill this effort. They'll lose DJ. Buybacks all over the place. With Urukon's command being placed by Moon. Going after Jackie so low. Armway toggle to survive and walk away.
They need to back off.
Jabs.
That's for
Lincoln
your
gets popped. The Palace strikes in. Ooh, just jaunts over.
So they lost the 3 heroes.
Jackie.
Legion Commander brought back.
They're still chasing. They got the silence, and they'll take out his first life. They don't have Wukong to place right on top of him. Masaru doesn't have a duel for 13 seconds. BKB pop by Moon. Sunray from Zephyr right on top of the Wraith King. They back up past the tier 3 tower, but Moon seemingly not scared to go past the tier 3 and between the tier 4s that we saw Masaru do a second ago.
And they go back a bit, reset the full HP. They're still Cheese and Aegis, and once Monkey King starts to, summon a couple of those Monkey Jingle Warriors around him, it's very hard to initiate on him.
Even Moon, Fury Orb right on top.
Cheese is available when needed.
They have the damage. Does not look like it's so. On a Whitemon, another winner there for Fnatic. They'll look over at Jackie. They'll take him out. He does have bot back. Carl on the run. This is not looking good for T1. This is about a 20,000 net worth shift. Fnatic were up 8K.
Aegis is gone. Jackie's still dead. Might need to be forced to use a buyback here, and there it is. Not sure what they can get out of this. Monkeys, he still wants to fight. BKB plus Wukong's command is up.
Dreamcoil comes through on the 2 as well as the Waning Rift. They've got the Dreamcoil on a Raven as well as Moon, but this seems more like a disengage than anything. T1 will go back to their high ground and try to defend, potentially one last time.
This is it. They only have one more fight. If they lose this fight, the game just ends.
Let's see what they can do with this. Smoke up from T1. Coming for the back, looking over towards the other side. DJ with Power Strike. That hits on a Jackie. He's getting bashed away. And that first strike is already out of his hand. He'll come back alive. They've got the Wukong command as well as the duel right on top of the Wraith King. He gets low. Jackie will fall. Another winner there for the Legion Commander.
That's
they
it.
Take
That's
out
the game.
Pump, and that will be it. Fnatic coming back from a bit of a deficit up to about 10K, and they find themselves game 1 in their hands. Really well Fnatic to bring that back.
Yeah, I said they're playing so well, even with the deficit. A couple of weird decision making around the first Roche, but in the end they make it work. Like this build on IO, absolute perfection.
That's the sign of approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And so good. Like I would just love to see the healing numbers. That'd be dope.
Yeah,
because these are like.
Hello there, and welcome back to the DPC League. We are here with the SEA region with PGL as we get into game number 2 in this series. It is T1 versus Fnatic. These two teams going head-to-head in a vicious, vicious match. Game number 1, it was all looking gravy, baby, for T1 until it didn't. Unfortunately, they just pulled it together. I mean, what was the cause of that massive turnaround in that first game before we get into game number 2? What was that moment where we all suddenly realized that T1 were not winning this game?
I think for me it's mainly 2. Of course, there were like a lot of individual misplays on both sides, as there is in every game of Dota, but just the overall itemization of T1 was very lackluster for me. They didn't itemize to counter either the monkey or the IO. They just went like autopilot on their own item builds. The Wraith King didn't build damage to deal with the Monkey King or the IO. We spoke about not building the Shiva's Guard or the Spirit Vessel. The Basher came out very late as well on the Pangolier to deal with the BKBs. Just overall, I feel like they just didn't address the problems they had properly, itemization-wise.
The execution as well, like we talked, there were some misplays, but overall, when you're playing such a heavy teamfight-oriented composition lineup, your execution needs to be a little bit better when it comes to not executing teamfights it's themselves, but choosing when and where to take those teamfights. I think that's maybe even more important.
Okay, well, we'll leave game 1 behind us and get into game number 2 in this matchup as these two teams try their hardest to take a game off each other. I still think it's pretty up in the air, but after game 1, I think it's pretty fair to say that we're maybe leaning a little bit more towards Fnatic taking this game number 2. Is that maybe the expectation coming into it? You know, it's easy to say in a best of 3 that the team that wins game 1 is going to get
It's always like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost always like that. If a team wins first game, you're kind of leaning towards them in the second one, but these two teams, they match up quite well. So recently, I believe it was T1 that won the series versus them 2-0. The series before that, recently, was a best of 2, they went 1-1. I believe it was T1 that won the series
can't
versus
really
them
say,
2-0.
you can't really
predict, but
the series before that,
it was a best of 2, they went 1-1.
did look a little bit
so
better
you can't really say, you can't really predict.
Yeah, but as we said before, you know,
they did look a little bit better.
Every game is like a new roll dice, or a dice roll basically, because you know some games like Carl just goes off and wins the game by himself. You know, other games he just gets dueled 3 times in the early game because he's overplaying, overstaying his welcome, and like they're not really affected mentally or anything. Like I know the players, they're good. We'll see. I'm looking forward to a good game too. Hopefully they'll shapen up a little bit.
Yeah. Some different drafts. You know what's actually very peculiar is I feel like Fnatic outplayed them a little bit in the draft as well, because they had this Wisp draft before, and T1, I think they read too much into it. They banned out some heroes that they had in that past draft, but they didn't really adjust to what they had at the moment. Because of that Monkey King eventually just takes over. Like once he gets that BKB, with the itemization that they had on Wraith King, they had no answers.
Yeah. I still think, just Captain Hindsight, that Drow Ranger would have been a much better pick. But yeah, obviously, they have their own plans and strategies, and didn't work out this time.
I mean, the Wraith King was the problem that game for a long, long time until the
For which team?
started.
For which team?
For which team was he the problem?
They were struggling to deal with them until they kind of, I think the Puck, to me, was the one who was struggling, just constantly getting dueled, just constantly being beaten down. But never mind. Game 1 is in the past now. To yesterday is history. Today is tomorrow's a mystery, and today is a present.
Yeah. And Fnatic banned out the IO because T1 has first pick now.
Indeed. Yeah. Do we agree with this IO ban?
Maybe like T1 does the same thing. They play this carry IO. I really don't know because there haven't been many tournaments lately in the SEA region, so they probably have a lot more inside information than we do with each other because they're obviously scrimming each other. Yeah.
This is something that's been picked up or banned out even in EU quite a bit. Like Mirana right now looks pretty solid, and also Enchantress is picked in the first game, right? So you picked that Mirana. I know there's a lot of players, a lot of analysts that say that it's not that hard to play Enchantress into Mirana, but it's not pleasant as well. Like she can always be there on the hard camp, arrow the big creep, or just block the hard camp and arrow the small creep that you want to take. It makes your game a little bit more difficult, and probably we won't see Ench because of that. And look, Beastmaster afterwards. Who's the best counter to Beast? Enchantress in the lane, right? Or Chen. And Mirana kinda covers you there.
Yeah. And of course Beastmaster was also picked up to just have a BKB counter to the Enigma Black Hole. Because you don't want to just be suddenly stuck with like no answer to Enigma BKB Black Hole.
Yeah,
it's always the worst.
I like that a lot. And Fnatic will grab themselves this Wraith King early on in the draft as well. They really want to try and grab that hero, seeing the strength of it in game number 1. And now they get to guard that pick with 3 bans. What's going to be interesting here to me is what they choose to ban out. Maybe we see the Monkey King banned out by Fnatic here.
Yeah, I mean, they pretty much already see the lane, which is going to be Mirana Beastmaster. Honestly, on paper, it doesn't sound like super pleasant for Wraith King.
Already, right?
You can't really deal with those Beastmaster
Yeah.
boars.
A lot of harass.
Beastmaster boars plus Mirana hits quite hard on those right clicks. It depends, obviously, what first item you go for on Mirana. Like what you, like position for Mirana, it matters so much what you get at the beginning. Like if you're getting those fairies and Wraith Band, or if you're going Urn, whatever. Like it depends how much damage you're going to be able to dish out in the laning stage. But Beastmaster alone is already pretty solid.
Yeah. Also, let's see if an 11k Wraith King will actually skill the crit or not. It's very intriguing.
I also want to see the build from Enigma. So I've played versus Seb's Enigma twice now. Both games he went Necro 3 instantly.
Yeah,
and Necros right now are really strong. When you max out your first spell, Malefice, right? When you max out Malefice and you go Necros, you can take down supports very easily on your own. Like just send those
damage is just berserk.
You don't even have to use Black Hole. You're just constantly active on the map.
You also have a talent that increases your stun duration.
Exactly, on level 10.
Yeah, level 10.
It's really nice.
I mean, some teams also, OG also did that. They played a +5 Enigma just to secure the safe lane.
That's
with
true.
Constantly denying the range creeps. And their draft is still pretty open. So some people even play offlane Wraith King, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering, is it possible that you play the Enigma into the Beastmaster and then just take his boars following that logic? That could be interesting.
Very possible. It's also possible, as I said, they just put the Wraith King offlane. There's like their draft is pretty open right now still.
They did throw a curveball with that first game when they put Wisp on carry. Maybe it was more surprising to some than others, but yeah, it's possible maybe to do a similar thing with the Wraith King as well.
For sure. There's banning out the carries that are good against the Wraith King, so it's probably gonna be a carry Wraith King.
Right. Would you rather have your PC set up in the bedroom or in the living room?
Living room every time, dude.
Living room, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the only two choices?
Okay, if you have another, your own PC gaming room. If that's not allowed, okay, you can't. Have
if
that.
that's not allowed, then living room. I feel like I'm too cozy in my bedroom.
Right?
Like, imagine you're playing like a DPC tournament. You're in a bedroom. Like, okay, we lost. I'm just gonna go sleep.
you have that magnetic field of your bed pulling you closer every time you lose. Like it's much easier to give up if you're next to your bed.
It's the same with the home gym. You should never have your home gym close to your bedroom. It should be at least like 3-4 meters away.
3-4 meters, yeah.
And I'm going to steer the discussion away from Jim because with these two on the panel, we will just go down that rabbit hole and never come up.
What, you want to
again.
talk about squats? Yeah, today.
No. So the reason I wouldn't want it in my bedroom, especially if you've got your webcam on, is you don't want people seeing your bedroom. I always find, my bedroom's alwa's a mess.
Look at
and my living room's always lovely.
Perfectly prepared.
Yeah, very.
Probably
he's
by
ready for it.
I don't know if he lives with his mom or girlfriend, but. I've lived with him. I know he can't do that by himself.
Oh, okay.
Like, I know that 100%. Like he's a messy boy.
Living in houses with your teammates can be rough sometimes, especially if they're not too big.
Always rough.
I had a teammate who left. So on the first or second day of bootcamp, we made him like a protein kale shake, something like that. He drank half of it. He didn't like the other half. He left it on the table next to the bed where he slept, and that thing was left there uncleaned for the whole month of bootcamp. It grew its own ecosystem inside. Like I don't get how some people can live, I swear.
And when he opened it, it was like the pressure built up to just fire it out across the room.
No, it was open the whole time. He was breathing.
Okay.
He was breathing in the spores, man.
Maybe that's some kind of new like superfood regime where you just like allow the kale to ferment and then breathe it in.
Recently in Europe, he was top tier player on mid.
Well, there we go, guys. You want the secret to free MMR? Just ferment some kale next to your bed and give it an old huff every day. Alrighty, let's see. We've got a couple more picks coming out of the phase, guys. What are we seeing here? What are we liking?
I mean, I don't really care about an Ogre pick. Ogre's just a super boring hero.
Agreed.
We all know what he does, but I'm very surprised to see a Naga Siren with an Aura draft. Like usually, if you have an Aura draft, you want to have something like a Drow or
Drow
Luna,
with Venge, yeah.
Yeah.
Terribly
but instead, they're going
dark.
with the carry Naga, which is very good against Wraith King and Enigma. But yeah, it's just a little bit unexpected.
Yeah, Terrorblade and Arc have been banned out, so that wasn't the option. But there's still some other heroes, like Drow is not banned, I believe. Yeah, like, they could have. However, they have Cuckoo on their team, and Beastmaster is like 99% offlane, but there is a small chance of having some crazy Naga off too.
All right, let me just tell you, man. This new Aghanims on Naga Siren is so good against Enigma. What you do is you just sleep, and you can net people during the sleep with the new Aghanims, and you just net the you run in, find the Enigma, you net him, and just send your Illus on him, he will die. It's one of the best heroes against Enigma this patch. Of course, Wraith King also has a very hard time dealing with him.
The Diffusal Manta build itself is very difficult. So do you think that this time around we'll see a Radiance Wraith King?
Yeah, it has to be. I mean, even last game I thought I would see a Radiance Wraith King. I just feel like this item it's just made for Wraith King, you know? Like you run in, you tank up all the damage, you come back, do the same thing again. It's just one of the best items for the hero.
And one of the things that you have to see in this game as well for Fnatic is they do have Augur. So you don't necessarily have to go into attack speed, right? Initially on the Wraith King. You have that Bloodlust to cover you.
Yeah, I mean, one of my concerns here is that this Wraith King is going to outfarm the Naga, right? With the Bloodlust and... Oh, you still think Naga has the edge?
Naga is a crazy farm faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very difficult to outfarm her. You go Manta first. You just send all those illusions with Yasha movement speed across the map. It's very difficult to outfarm her.
Yeah. So it's like a +5 Venge? Is it still good after the rework? Like I always feel like a +5 Venge in my game is just a burden. I don't know. like he just dies and does nothing.
I mean, some swaps versus Enigma Black Hole. If you don't have Roar, you can have swap.
True.
Say it for her, right? So that's kind of neat. You can already see the use of her, and maybe it's also.
What about mid-Venge?
Mid-Venge? I mean, it's doable.
Yeah.
It's doable as well. Versus Puck, that minus armor and just hitting him.
It also is a pretty hard Enigma counter. It is a mid-Venge, I think.
Yeah, mid-Venge with Aghanims. I think
it's
that's
really
what they're
good
doing.
Enigma,
Reckon not the mid Mirana?
It could be. It could be.
Yeah.
The new Aghanims is pretty good.
Yeah. The Starfall and obviously the Shard is
the Falcon Blade
is
also sick on Mirana right now. It's really good.
Or they pull out my pub special Lion mid.
I've actually seen that as well in my pubs.
Maybe it's Naga. Maybe
it's not terrible. Against a hero like Wraith King, like you just suck out all his mana and he has to get the shard.
buys a shard.
Yeah, he has to buy the shard.
He's gonna buy it either way. He's versus Naga,
it's against
right?
Naga. It's not achieving much, I don't think.
Beast, Necros, it's not that easy. But I actually love the Venge core. I'm not...
Same.
Yeah, right, with the Aghanims.
I support Venge is just not the same anymore. Like to get the same effect, you need an Aghanims now. And a +5 Venge will get Aghanims minute 40 when you like use it already.
And core, you die in a fight, you still are you're not dead. You literally have everything you had before. Plus, when you respawn, you take the spot of your illusion, of your clone. So you don't have to buy TPs ever. Like,
which sometimes can kill you though.
That's true. That's true. But it's hard to make yourself die because of that. Like you just run away.
The other team's gonna be like, all right, we're gonna keep this Venge illusion alive for 45 seconds.
You're laughing. I was getting permanently sprouted for 60 seconds, and the guy did not let me leave. I could do nothing.
So you're saying you were stuck on their side of the map
for 60 seconds? Yes. So they kept sprouting me. So it's Underlord offlane, Enigma.
Yep. Fnatic decide that a slow
it's Venge core.
Yeah,
Venge core.
Venge core. There it is. Alrighty.
Okay, good.
Well, those are the drafts. Those are the heroes. These are your picks. And which one are we favoring this time around?
I
think I like Fnatic actually this game.
Really?
But I can't go for them
versus
because they
Naga
for
as well.
T1.
Yeah, I'll take your words and I'll go for Fnatic. You can still keep on the T1 train. I actually like the Underlord versus the Naga Illusions.
It's super good.
With the Puck as well, you have enough magic damage to burn them down. Enigma 4 last night, what Taiga did in his game, I think they can recreate at least 50% of that, and he's going to do just fine. So I'll go with Fnatic and Wraith King.
Alrighty.
They will need to snowball on T1. They have this aura draft, which, again, I feel like Naga Siren doesn't really fit in there because it's a carry that doesn't really want to pressure. You just kind of want to farm.
You just want to chill,
Yeah, if you have like a Drow Ranger or Luna, instead you can join the fights and deal a lot of damage. So I think the Fnatic draft just comes together a little bit better. So I have to go against my T1 boys.
But you're going with Venge mid at least. That's solid, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go with T1. I can't.
You can't do it. You can't do it. Fair enough. So we got Fnatic, both of you, and I hate to make it a unanimous panel, but I think Naga's a little bit weaker in this patch, and yeah, I mean, I have no reason to doubt this Wraith King, even though it is a slightly harder game for him. We'll see how this one breaks down, and we're going to throw it across to our lovely casters, which is going to be Mr. Beacop and Sir Lacoste. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Nomad, unanimous panel. You staying on that unanimous panel train?
Yeah, I mean, you and me were talking about how this draft is going. I'm like, yeah, Fnatic looks good. Probably it's going to be an Underlord last pick because of the Naga, Siren Illusions. They just need to stall the game. Like, this is the lineup that doesn't really do that much early on. And the T1 has an Aura lineup, so it could be a bit tricky. I think it's more on T1 to be able to have this aggression going on for the first, like, 20 minutes, try to get some advantage, turn that into Roche, where Fnatic lineup is, yeah, we're fine. You know, if we came out of the laning stage even, we don't, you know, lose too much, because this is hard lineup to execute, I would say, for the first 15-20 minutes. Because all you have to do is defend towers. You have very sluggish heroes that can't really gank, so a lot of that is solely on Puck. So if someone needs to make rotations, it's just Puck. Like, he needs to be all over the place, being ready with the TP if they decide to dive on T1 side, and just have that foil every single time it's up. Try to get something happening.
Yeah, so do you expect Puck to be active come level 6 or any earlier
Not
than
necessarily
that?
like straight up level 6, I'm going to go and do stuff, but if the lanes are going well, he can still be on a mid lane, make a TP rotation, you get the good rune, haste, possibly arcane rune, because, like, yeah, this top lane Underlord plus Enigma will deny the creep wave, so the lane will pull back. Naga Siren doesn't put too much pressure on the Underlord, and eventually you will get the farm. A bit worried for the Wraith King, because he will be playing into multiple mana burns this game. Bottom lane, they're playing very aggressive.
Going after Cuckoo, with DJ just putting the pressure on. Already down to a third of health. So that's something to bring up, the mana burn.
Yeah.
Does this force, because the panel was saying they want to see Wraith King get like a Radiance, right?
Sure.
But
Yeah,
you're
I
forced
think
to have
that's
a
the build
1,400
here.
gold item into getting the shard, most likely, right? If
After
you don't wanna...
that, after Radiance, you do not want to invest, and you also like want to have Radiance between 15 and 20 minute mark, then you're just going to keep farming, but definitely a good shard game, which is his old level 20 talent. So no mana reincarnation, there will be Beastmaster Book with the mana burn, Naga Siren with the Diffusal Blade, Lion's Drain, a lot of stuff that he needs to focus on, so eventually he will get that shard.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him to get that reincarnation off potentially before he gets that shard, which could be the key to T1 taking an advantage earlier on, right? You get him out, doesn't have that reincarnation, you don't really feel the effectiveness from that Wraith King, then all of a sudden T1, like we kind of saw them in the first game, get like a 6,000-7,000 net worth lead if they can execute that properly.
The question is how much pressure they can put on, and I want to see this Venge mid. I've seen it in high-level pubs where, you know, the panel talked about it. The new Aghanim Scepter build is pretty cool, where you have this illusion that, you know, can cast all of her spells. You have a movement speed bonus for some reason, not sure why that is, and yeah, you also take the place of Venge once you respawn and you get all the XP, plus you can also get the gold by farming, so pretty sick stuff. One of the better upgrades, I would say. We might see more of the Venge core in this tournament.
Yeah, we were seeing like interesting Venge combinations before this, where you put like Venge with the Drow, but Venge would be more in the support for that, or potentially, you know, maybe ending up in a core, but I think it was mostly supporting at that point. They said, again, you know, bringing up the panel, Venge feels a lot more comfortable in the core role than it does in the
For
support.
sure, because right now Vengeance Aura is just base damage bonus. Like, you don't get the attack range anymore.
Yeah.
Dire structures are fortified.
So already Moon on top of that CS with Raven. A little bit different hero here for Raven, going from the IO to the Wraith King.
Yeah, a completely different hero. Like, Wraith King wants to farm up, doesn't want to take any fights pretty much for the first 15 minutes until he gets the Radiance. Just farming for now. You know, doesn't have a point in crit yet, 2 points in Skellies. A bit of a different game than the previous one that we've seen, because Legion Commander just deletes those Skellies with the overwhelming odds. This way, like, they don't have that much AoE, at least not in the laning stage.
Jab's showing up. The face of Whitemon, getting his mana drain, but with the Malefice, all of a sudden, Whitemon might get blocked to a point where...
Can you body block him to death? Imagine if, like, body blocks, if you successfully body block him for 3+ seconds, it actually deals the damage.
You said I was giving bad ideas
and
with
provides
the 6v6.
an extra slow.
That sounds like a lot, just for body blocking.
Yeah, you try to body block. Like, you just start running the other way to not to get the damage.
True, yeah. Well,
No,
what AoE
yeah,
breaks
I gotta
it?
agree, it's pretty stupid. The more I think about it,
I wasn't saying it was stupid. Just
it's just bad.
It seems like it could be strong if you do end up pulling it off, right? I still like the 6-on-6 idea. Evolve the game.
So yeah, back to the farming in jungle. Enigma having a good time, staying away from your stupid ideas as well. Beak up 6-on-6. But there probably is a mode, right?
Probably in the custom games,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, pretty sure there is.
There's Imba, a couple other ones, 3v3.
I never played those, man. I'm just a die-hard Dota fan. I played Pudge Wars, I don't know, long time ago.
Yeah.
At the start of Dota 2, back in Dota 1 days. I'm just, a Dota guy.
Imba gets a little annoying. Just 10v10 Imba, and all of a sudden people are just leaving the game. No commitment.
Raven in a bit of trouble. Arrow does not connect.
Speaking of the Enigma before, I think we kind of had this conversation before our mics were live.
Yeah.
How difficult of a game it is for him to really be the playmaker, get that black hole out. There's so many things here that make it difficult for him.
Exactly. That's why they decided to, shift Enigma to position 4. You're playing into Beastmaster, so there's always going to be a BKB piercing ability, plus a swap, sleep. Like, it's a very hard Enigma game to start with, so they just give farm priority to Underlord. And, they're not putting too much pressure on Underlord. He's having a really good time, 26 CS, 11 denies, has Soul Ring, has a Ring of Health, so a lot of regions, their damage is pretty static on the top lane, so whenever he has mana, just use that Firestorm and kill the whole creep wave.
And top 3 on the net worth are all on the side of Fnatic. Just by a couple hundred here or there, the one who's really standing out is Raven, which is just about 3,000 net worth. He's doing a really good job farming, and we talked about how that's his job, although up in top, the Underlord in trouble, most likely giving up first blood. There it is for Jackie. You got 3 heroes with Zephyr, Whitemon, and Jackie all showing up to get that kill on Masaros.
They can't get that kill if they don't rotate Mirana, so she just comes top, they get the first kill, first blood, and Jackie gets it. So this is something that you want to see, your carry getting a first blood. Carl this time around, pretty much the same thinking as Monkey King had in the previous game. Against the Puck matchup, I'll get the Magic Wand, 1 Raid Band, have that Raindrop just to be able to survive through initial burst that Puck has.
Now, Fnatic, looks to me that they're going to play more of a 4 Protect 1, right? Give the Wraith King that time to get to that, well, he's going Midas and Radiance. Just give him time to get that farm online as Cuckoo in some trouble. DJ and Raven, they'll combine for the kill. That's a good one to push him even closer to that Midas.
It's a slow lineup, as I already stated, for Fnatic, so there are okay, just being here, getting a kill here and there if possible, and farming the jungle, farming the lanes, because eventually, you will take a fight. I like what Black said during the panel, that the Nagasarin doesn't really fit into these Aura lineups.
He's looking like he might drop. The damage is there. And Venge was waiting. Has a little bit of help from the Lion of Whitemon to control him. Have those stuns. get a kill on the puck.
It's a big kill. Like, hard to execute if you don't move Lion. Like, Vengeful Spirit stun is pretty easy to dodge. There's also no point in swap at the moment. And yeah, it's all about tower defense for Fnatic.
Just make more and more time for the Wraith King.
Oh, I like this. Masara's going for Vanguard, which could possibly be turned into the Crimson Guard against all these summons, against Naga illusions. Yeah, that's just going to be a great item. Doesn't necessarily need to rush it, but, you know, you can still get like a casual cloak, possibly a mech, and then get a Crimson Guard. He'll see how the game develops.
Is he more just looking to be auras?
Yeah, for sure. Like, you deal damage with the Firestorm, and puck can scale. Plus, it's a really, really good Radiance game against illusions, against the summon. So Braven just needs to farm it up. Right now, he's doing really good, staying 300 gold ahead of a Naga Siren. Also, like, Naga Siren is the hero that farms extremely fast. A couple of stacks already being made in the jungle.
Jackie closing in on top of the net worth. We're seeing a different build for the puck this time. Going Blink Dagger first item. We saw Witchblade first for the puck in the previous game. So not the same build as the last one, but do you think that Blink's the right call?
Yeah. I think his job in this game is to be as active as possible. So Blink Dagger will allow him that. He can still go back to Witchblade if needed.
Cuckoo should be able to get the kill into jabs, no question about it. At the same time, Raven kills off Zephyr, so both teams moving around the map and taking out those fours.
This benefits Fnatic so much more, because they took the safe lane tower, not the most important tower in the game, but, you know, if someone shows up on that lane, there is no place to TP to, so really, really good. And they still have their own tier 1 tower, full HP. Right now, T1 stealing the stacks.
And you might want to try and contest these if possible. Going to the Moonlight Shadow.
They have no sentries.
And Bit of Malice is down with the Firestorm. Cuckoo taking a lot of damage.
Ooh. That was a black hole. Oof. It was so quick, you didn't even notice that it happened.
Blink and you miss it.
Can we get a replay of that, please? Yeah, I know the chat will love it.
But they defend, they push him back. They're up 2K. So we'll see where Moon's going. I like Raven already had 600 gold after they took that tier 1 bottom. He gets the kill on his Zephyr. They take the tier 1. Then he has Midas ship in, and he gets to use that Midas. So
you just have too much gold. I think like you had the Midas first usage, and you had almost 1,000 gold in the bank already. Now he moves to the top lane, starts to pressure the tower. All right, Enigma.
Jab's in trouble.
Straight up deleted.
Jab's deleted off the map. Finger comes in. Whitemon gets the kill. He grabs the stack. They'll go after Raven. This is an important one to try and get. But if it turns around, it could be really detrimental to the rest of the game. They're trying to drain that mana, getting the kill on a Raven. He's got nothing to get that reincarnation off anymore. Dream Coil down on the Venge as well as the Mirana, with Masaros just hidden away when this Undying. They'll take out Carl. They'll look for Zephyr. He's no longer silenced. He gets a lead, but is it far enough?
The cast range.
And the last shot coming in from Moon, capping that one off. They do lose Raven. Slow down that Radiance. But
still, on top of net worth,
for 2.
Really good trade. Underlord and Puck are playing together. This is such a sick combo. Like, just a ton of damage between these two heroes. Firestorm, Dream Coil, keeping them inside of it. And he's not getting a talent. He is putting more points in Pit of Malice, which I really, really like. Like, also just 2 points in Atrophy Aura. You want to have that Pit of Malice maxed out just for, like, more root mechanic. It feels so good. Like the damage, sorry, B-Cup. Like the damage is gonna be insane. Enigma, not a single point in Midnight Pulse. Probably will start getting some right now. Just hit level 8. Midnight Pulse into Pit of Malice plus Firestorm. Percentage-based damage, 2 spells, is gonna melt the illusions. It's just gonna melt everything.
This seems like into the face of Whitemon. Getting his mana drain, but with the Malefice, all of a sudden, Whitemon might get blocked to a point where...
Can you body block him to death? Imagine if, like, body blocks, if you successfully body block him for 3+ seconds, it actually deals the damage.
You said I was giving bad ideas
and
with
provides
the 6v6.
an extra slow.
That sounds like a lot, just for body blocking.
Yeah, you try to body block. Like you just start running the other way to not to get the damage.
True, yeah. Well,
Nah,
what
pretty stupid.
AoE
Yeah, I
breaks
gotta
it.
agree, it's pretty stupid. The more I think about it,
I wasn't saying it was stupid. Just
it's just bad.
It seems like it could be strong if you do end up pulling it off, right? I still like the 6-on-6 idea. Evolve the game.
So yeah, back to the farming in jungle. Enigma having a good time, staying away from your stupid ideas as well. Being up 6-on-6, but there probably is a mode, right? Man, I'm just a die-hard Dota fan. I played Pudge Wars, I don't know, a long time ago.
Yeah.
At the start of Dota 2, back in Dota 1 days. I'm just, a Dota guy.
Imba gets a little annoying. 10v10 Imba, and all of a sudden people are just leaving the game. No commitment.
Raven in a bit of trouble. Arrow does not connect.
Speaking of the Enigma before, I think we kind of had this conversation before our mics were live. How difficult of a game it is for him to really be the playmaker, get that black hole out. There's so many things here that make it difficult.
Exactly. That's why they decided to, shift Enigma to position 4. You're playing into Beastmaster, so there's always going to be a BKB piercing ability, plus a swap, sleep. Like, it's a very hard Enigma game to start with, so they just give farm priority to Underlord. And, they're not putting too much pressure on Underlord. He's having a really good time, 26 CS, 11 denies, has a Soul Ring, has a Ring of Health, so a lot of regions, their damage is pretty static on the top lane, so whenever he has mana, just use that Firestorm and kill the whole creep wave.
3 on the net worth are all on the side of Fnatic. Just by a couple hundred here or there. The one who's really standing out is Raven. It's just about 3,000 net worth. He's doing a really good job farming, and we talked about it's his job. Although up in top, the Underworld in trouble, most likely giving up first blood. There it is for Jackie. You got 3 heroes with Zephyr.
This is why I came to the surface.
All showing up to killing a Masaros.
They can't get that kill if they don't rotate Mirana. So each come stop, they get first kill, first blood, and Jackie gets it. This is something that you want to see. Carry getting a first blood. Carl this time around, pretty much the same thinking as Monkey had in the previous game. Against the Puck matchup, I'll get the Magic Wand, 1 Raid Band, have that Raindrop, just be able to survive through initial burst that Puck has.
Now, Fnatic, looks to me that they're gonna play more of a 4 protect 1, right? Give the Wraith King that time. Midas and raiding. Given the time that farm online is in some trouble. DJ and Raven, they'll combine for the kill. A good one to push him even closer to that Midas.
It's a slow lineup, as I already stated, for Fnatic, so they are okay. Just being here, getting the kill here and there if possible, and farming the jungle, farming the lanes, because eventually, you will take a fight. I like what Black said during the match, but the 9-7 doesn't really fit into these, Aura lineups.
Looking like he might drop the damages there. Benj was waiting, has a little bit of help from the Lion of Whitemon to control him, have those stuns.
It's a big kill. Hard to execute if you don't move Lion. Default Spirit stun is pretty easy to dodge. There's also no point to swap at the moment, and it's all about tower defense for Fnatic.
Let's make more and more time for the Wraith King.
Oh, I like this. Sara's going for Vanguard, which could possibly be turned into the Crimson Guard against all these summons, against Naga illusions. Yeah, that's just gonna... Doesn't necessarily need to rush it, but you know, you can still get like a casual cloak, possibly a mech, and then Crimson Guard. He'll see how the game goes.
Is he more just looking to beat auras?
Yeah, for sure. You deal damage with the Firestorm, and Puck can scale. Plus, it's a really, really good Radiance game against illusions, against summons. So Raven just needs to farm it up. Right now, he's doing really good, staying 300 gold ahead of a Naga Siren. Also, like Naga Siren hero that farm extremely fast. Couple of stacks already being made in the jungle.
Closing in on top of the network. We're seeing a different build from the Puck this time. Going Blink Dagger first item. We saw Witchblade first for the Puck in the previous game. Not the same build as the last one, but do you think that Blink's the right call?
Yeah. I think his job in this game is to be as active as possible. So Blink Dagger will allow him that. He can still go back to Witchblade if needed.
Cuckoo. On the jab, so no question about it. At the same time, Raven kills off Zephyr. Both teams moving around the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Force.
This benefits Fnatic so much more because they took the safe lane tower, not the most important tower in the game, but you know, if someone shows up on that lane, there is no place to TP to. Really, really good, and they still have their own one tower full HP right now. T1 stealing the stacks.
Shadows.
Testies if possible. Moonlight Shadow.
They have no sense.
Bounces down platform. Cuckoo taking a lot of damage.
That was a black hole. It was so quick, you didn't even notice that it happened.
When can you miss it?
Can we get a replay of that, please? Yeah, I know the chat will love it.
But they defend, they push him back, they're up 2k. So we'll see where Moon's going. I like, Raven already had 600 gold after they took that tier 1 bottom. He gets the kill on his Zephyr, they take a tier 1, then he has Midas chip in, and he gets to use that Midas. So
you just have too much gold. I think like you had the Midas first usage, and you had almost 1,000 gold in the bank already. Now he moves to the top lane, starts straight up to
deleted off the map. Finger comes in. Whitemon gets the kill. He grabs the stack. They'll go after Raven. This is an important one to try and get. But if it turns around, it could be really detrimental to the rest of the game. They're trying to drain that mana, get the kill on a Raven. He's got nothing to get that reincarnation off anymore. Dream Coil down on the Venge as well as the Mirana with Masaros just hidden away with this Undying. They'll take out Carl. They'll look for Zephyr. He's no longer silenced. Gets fleet. Is it far enough? The Ignite range and the last shot coming in from Moon, capping that one off. They do lose Raven, slow down that Radiance, but
still, network for 2. Really good trade. Underlord and Fuck are playing together. This is such a sick combo, like just a ton of damage between these two heroes. Firestorm, Dream Coil, keeping them inside of it, and he's not getting a talent. He is putting more points in Pit of Malice, which I really, really like. Like, also just 2 points in Atrophy Aura. You want to have that Pit of Malice maxed out just for like more root mechanic. It feels so good. Like the damage, sorry, B-Cup. Like the damage is gonna be insane. Enigma. Not a single point in Midnight Pulse. Probably will start getting some right now. Just hit level 8. Midnight Pulse into Pit of Malice plus Firestorm. Percentage-based damage, 2 spells, is going to melt the illusions. It's just going to melt everything.
This seems like a strong combo.
It's a sick combo. I feel like T1 should have punished the laning stage much harder, because right now Fnatic has a 2k gold lead. They have a much better late game potential with their heroes. They have a scaling lineup. You have this Wraith King, you know, just farming Bloodlust. Also, only level 1, but I want to see Moon also getting like damage potentially items, not just go for, you know, the spell build, I would call it. Like, I want him to scale, not necessarily need to get like Deso, the damage talent, but you can also scale getting Aghanim Scepter, keep them in place because of all these AoE percentage-based damage. Like, maybe that's the call here. Maybe I'm just being wrong. We'll see how the game develops.
Primal Roar onto Moon. Now they've got the stun to follow it up from the Lion. Phase shift and the Waning Rift looking for the Illusory Orb to jaunt away. Use the Dream Coil on the Venge, the swap to get some distance and get closer to Moon. Whitemon ends up getting killed. He's got no way out of that one. And a good kill to get. Come over and try and steal an Ancient Camp. Because they were taking those stacks and Raven was out farming and is still now neck and neck with that Mountain. Doing a really good job. Now it's down, Ignite Throne, stun on the Ogre. Finger as well, Arrow comes in. They've got the Hex onto Raven. Whitemon needs to run. Malphus used on Akuku, the fight splitting up a little bit. Should be able to finish off Whitemon. They throw down the Firestorm. One more stun comes in. He's really taking them for a long journey. Avoids the Pit of Malice. He's looking like he might be gone. I don't want to speak too soon because Jabs does have that blink and he knows how to catch up to the Lion. Killed the Beastmaster and now they will finally finish off Whitemon with Raven getting credit for that. He grabs yet another kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Up that bounty. Oh, and the Illusory Orb up. Swipes both of them. That was nice.
I think this fight shows how much they need Puck to be alive, to use the coil and his ability, because they're very sluggish, they're very slow, you know, hard to set things up, and he needs to be the one holding them in place. Raid King, just a recipe away from Radiance, has full control of the bottom part of the jungle, one ward to work with, so he should feel pretty safe. Naga Siren, Manta style completed, pretty standard stuff. Usually we see a Diffusal Blade, but maybe he feels like, yeah, I don't need it, we already have some mana burn, Raid King will get that shard anyway, so I'll just get Scotty instead. It's a better kiting item. The heroes are already slow. Why not slow them down a bit more?
Do you think that not getting that Diffusal could be a difference maker on whether or not that reincarnation goes off in these mid-game fights?
I feel Raid King will just get that shard at the 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
If they win one fight, if the game is slow, T1's not putting any pressure, he might still get possibly a Blink Dagger for more chase potential.
But why spend the money on a Diffusal if you know he's going to commit exactly to the shard?
Yeah.
Okay. So working around the assumption that a shard will be picked up by the Wraith King, which he's got a Midas, he's going Radiance, he's going to be farming like crazy. Should be an easy pickup for him.
Yeah, you just need to have gold. Like, you don't necessarily need to do anything. You just spend the money and that's it. Easy peasy.
Get rich. Spend the gold. And then Puck going into the Dagon. Dagon Lincoln's queued. See, is it Dagon 1 back into Lincoln's, then you buff up the Dagon? Or are you going into the recipes and then the Lincolns? Or there's some point where it's like, oh, well, now the Lincolns is necessary. Let me just buy it.
Could be a way just to deal with the illusions.
Dire's tower is under attack.
Could have also gone for a bit more scaling build. Sure, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you have like E-Blade, Dagon, Lincoln Spear, you still feel really, really good. Because look at their like stuns. Beastmaster, that's one way, single target. Vengeful Spirit, you can dodge that with the magic, with the phase shift. You need to be afraid of Lion, so Lincoln Sphere will help out with that.
Yeah. See when he gets that. Ags is picked up by the Venge, Scotty being built there for the Naga, and it's Radavatos for the Underlord. The chase is on for Moon, but they won't be able to catch up to him. I like that Radavatos. We were seeing a lot of that when Underlord was a little bit more popular in previous patches, going to the Pit of Malice with the Radavatos, but we'll try to get a kill here on Masaros. Have the Hex, throw the finger, the damage being done. Blackpool comes in onto the Venge, the arrow stops it. Carl, he'll end up dead. Jabs and Masaros do end up dropping coil here onto the Naga as well as the Mirana, but they have the swap. They pull back the Wraith King and they get the first light. However, Zephyr going down to Moon. They're looking over at Whitemon. He's sitting low. So is Cuckoo. And onto this Wraith King. Got the right clicks coming in from Raven. Now finally a song. Once 4 heroes are dead.
Can they chase? They need to chase this illusion because Vengeful Spirit will, you know, be ready and up in 15 seconds. You respawn and go back to where your illusion is.
Dire's middle tower is
DJ
under
spotted
attack.
him. Doesn't have anybody really near him. Take a look at this replay once again. And Pitamalis comes in, roots up the line, the stun is out. They throw the finger on him. He's quite tanky already. They really tried to focus the Underlord. And then the Black Hole gets stopped by the arrow. Carl gets right-clicked down. Moon kills him off. Underlord finally drops with jabs. And this Dream Coil is well placed, hitting out of the Mirana as well as the Naga. Whitemon's still going in. They get that first life. Here's where things get tricky. Moon kills off Zephyr. They have the stun onto the Naga. They can look over at Whitemon as well as Cuckoo. A couple more right clicks from Moon. Moon gets the kill there, and then eventually the right click just slamming down Cuckoo. Yeah, crit.
So once Underlord gets that Road of Aethos, it's going to be much easier to set things up. You know, you go for one clear target. There is a save in terms of swap, but it's a core Venge, so you really don't want to be using it on your teammates, putting yourself in a bad spot. There's no defensive tools for yourself, so you need to be very careful about that. One thing that they have, we didn't talk about it, is Vision Game for T1, where they can have their lanes outpushed, Beastmaster summons, you have Control, you have Fog.
Pitamalis right on top of him. They'll use the Moonlight Shadow, but he's dead before he fades.
He doesn't even have boots. Yeah, he just picked up boots 20 minutes in.
There's that Blink Dagger you talked about for the Wraith King.
Yeah, I think he still doesn't have that shard. Might need to change his mind and just get it.
And killing off Whitemon, so Moon is really having a game so far. They find themselves Zephyr. They'll try to chase. He's out of leaps. He's got nowhere to go. The stun comes in, and another one for Moon.
You might wish to retract your last move.
Double kill for Moon, who's sitting 8, 2, and 4. Involved with 12 of the 16 and sitting quite up there on the net worth. Song from Jackie just the TP to the top lane. That song hands on the Underlord as well as Raven. Try to get out of this one. The taxi services arrive. And away they go. 5 stars.
Very nicely done. And Underlord can go back to that Crimson Guard. I'm a big fan of it against this type of matchup where, you know, Naga Siren, Illusions, Beastmaster summons, you're going to get so much value out of it.
Wraith King queues up the AC. So far, not even thinking Shard. See if that pays off, waiting on that Shard, but he could hold the gold and eventually go for it. Skills, it's a necessity. Black Hole on the 2. Arrow coming in, it hits the Wraith King, so the Black Hole continues. They've got the Pitamalis. Midnight pulls down. Both the Venge as well as Beastmaster are going to die here. The finger thrown to the Ogre. They finally get the kill on the DJ. They look over at Zephyr with Naga coming in, taking out jabs, but the Dream Coil is committed. They've got the silence out of the Naga side. They're trying to ring around those tree, but they kill off Zephyr. The stun comes in from Whitemon. Jackie on the run. Not sure he gets out of this, though. They have the Pitamalis, pops the mantle, right clicks in. He's rooted up, killed off, take out the Naga. 4 for 2 in the favor of Fnatic. Now up 8,000 net worth. Black Hole.
That was a
full
really,
duration.
really good Black Hole. And Raven, like...
Get down, Mr. President.
Raven actually took that arrow in the knee for his teammate because he did not want the Black Hole to be interrupted. There's still going to be damage coming out from the Radiance, so nicely done. This is the fight that T1 needed to win. Like, their lineup is much, much worse going into the late game. Not hesitating at all. Like, very nicely done by Jabs.
And Raven just stepping in front. I don't know if it was stepping in front on purpose or just wanted to get some right clicks in. Either way, saves him.
You know, let's pretend he did, because it was cool. If that's what it was pretty cool.
Just getting destroyed by Masaros and that Firestorm dropping down on him pretty much the entire time. Lincoln's finally finished off for the puck. EKB almost finished for Jabs. Farming almost as well as the bench. 1,600 off. Feels like Carl hasn't really gotten much farm.
Moon got so much out of the last 2 fights. 4 Lincoln Sphere on top of that Dagon. So pretty hard to take down. Even if this game, you know, isn't going well, Puck can still be that guy that, you know, just creep skips and buy some time for his team.
Yeah. Boozer Orb, Waning Rift, clear up the creep wave, go into the trees, come back out, rinse, repeat. If nobody's going to make you pay for it, then why not? So posture here towards Roche with the smoke of T1. I think they're looking for an opportunity to take a fight. They go into the high ground, smoke into the breaking inbound down to Recenter as well as the line. They use the Rotobatos. 2 on the line. Whitemon, he's in trouble. Whitemon dead immediately. And now the Dream Coil's down onto the Naga Siren. They're going to do the save, try and do something. The right clicks are in. They use the swap, but it stuns up the Naga. The Primal Roars use on to this Wraith King, who will lose that first life. Now, moves out onto Zephyr. Blink stun coming through from Raven. They will take his life. Double kill for Raven, and this fight happens next to Roche.
Nah, you don't necessarily need to threaten the Roche right now. Raven is also level 19, so that means level 3 reincarnation, 40 seconds cooldown. They can just pressure the top tower, take the outpost, and then see how it's gonna go from there. Like, they're in full control. Like, in this series, like, Raven is playing so well. First game on IO, just going for the correct item build. Same thing happened in game 2, where like his itemization is really on point. Getting that Hand of Midas into Radiance just to speed things up, get more levels, lower the cooldown on his ulti. His talents are pretty insane. Like his level 25 talent is busted, I would say. Minus 2 seconds Mortal Strike cooldown, brings it down to 2-second cooldown ability with the 260%. Not too bad.
Start really slamming those right clicks in. This game is more like, I think the first one with Raven saving Moon. Moon was kind of that leader in damage, and now it's the other way around. Moon's more like the Dream Coil, silences, okay Raven, do your thing. And he does it. Playing really well on this Wraith King, out farming the Naga now. And looking really good at the moment. Jackie, his farm is good. Does it feel like what's around him just isn't enough?
I just don't feel Naga Siren is a strong carry right now compared to the other top tier carries. And to go back to Black's point where he talked about Naga not really benefiting that much from like all these auras. Yeah, sure, you get the, you know, same amount of damage, same amount of attack speed as other heroes, but you're not with the team. You just want to play the farm game.
We'll see if he can farm his way back into it, do something with what he's got. Shard queued up by the Enigma. Raven
that's
going
one
into
of
the
the better
Maelstrom.
ones. Like, man, that shard is so good. Kind of a science, you know, implemented into Dota 2. The way Black Hole works and the things around it. Not a Siren actually decided to address the shard. Gives you a stronger Riptide. And you can activate it manually.
Yeah. I'm really hoping, I don't know if Bill Nye, the science guy, has like a cameo, but hire him to talk about the physics of Black Hole.
That'd be so cool. Like we'd probably have to spend the most of our budget on it.
Take a look at his price. Have him talk about when you purchase Shard, how Black Hole works. Science, you know? Take a look after this one. Raven going into the Mjolnir. It's completely foregone the Shard. It has the AC. Saving 1,400 gold. That's invested wisely into these other items. Midas being built for the Ogre. Gotta get that multi-cast. Get that gold to pump up. It's bottom of the net worth right now.
I mean, I don't mind. You know, maybe it's a bit too late, but still, you're gonna be able to scale. Because T1, they can't finish the game.
Yeah.
Like their lineup was supposed to be aggressive, so he is kind of, you know, just securing things. There's, if things are going well, you can just, you know, invest gold and try to end the game from here. But you're playing against Naga, so the game might drag for a while.
We'll see, they're knocking on the door bottom. Headband picked up. There's the Maelstrom. Step for Zephyr. I like Psychic Headband. I think it's a really good idol.
Yeah. It's good on some mid-end heroes. It's good on position 4s, good on 5s.
I was thinking about the Ogre Midas. The more it multicasts, the more you make up that time that it took you to get that Midas. Right back in it if you get it 4 times.
I'm really glad we're not in straight up Midas meta. Where, you know, it got really weird when 8 out of 10 heroes were buying Midas.
Swap in, and now Ricky's in front. They took this first life very quickly and threw the loot onto the vent. They're trying to drain the mana. They've got the Lotus Orb out. Are they going to continue to move forward? Illusory Orb, and they take Carl's life away.
Now Enigma needs to care about 2 things. That's Swap, which only has 1 charge right now, or like no charges at all, whatever we want to call it, and Beastmaster Roar. Because BKB is ready, and Enigma is ready to just jump in after these 2 abilities are used.
Saros and crew over towards the mid lane, while Moon is grabbing this outpost just in time for the 30-minute mark. Swipes it away. Like seconds to go. Really well done. And Raven's just been a nuisance here bottom. He's postured right by your stairs and is continuing to just chunk creeps away and farm up. Picks up the Hyperstone, almost finishing off the Mjolnir.
Fnatic wants to use this Aegis. They still have a minute left on it. So. Oh, there's also a Lotus Orb. Really nice. Against some of these spells, against the Swamp, against the Lion in particular, Beastmaster. It's hard, even with the move speed talent, the plus 30 on level 20, and the Bloodlust, there's still a lot of kiting potential. You know, something that Breaking doesn't like to play into, any kind of like slows, and now Riptide with the Aghanim Shard also provides a slow. And it's a 40% slow. That's not a joke.
Could be a problem, especially when he gets swapped into the base that deep. Yeah. All of a sudden, you just can't get away. I guess it also depends on whether or not he's got that Aegis, because that's what made that really difficult too. You got to kill him 3 times, and they really weren't able to drain much of his mana. So it feels like Reincarnation's almost always going to get off at the moment. They can't keep Whitemon safe. He's not draining enough. Raven's just right in their face. No fear. Finishing off the Mjolnir. He just gets reclaimed. Put that Midas back into the slot, going into the BKB next. And then Enigma, he's going Lincoln Sphere. So with the Lotus Orb, with the Lincoln Sphere, maybe a little bit more safe, throwing that black hole as he's got Blink BKB, and then we'll soon have the Lotus to try and get that full duration off.
Now, we still have not seen the power of Blink BKB Black Hole. BKB still on 10 seconds. Like right now, they can just set a perimeter and farm up pretty much the whole jungle. Because Fnatic, T1's lineup doesn't have that much burst damage. Like, you need to use Roar, you need to get a finger to actually get a kill, and then you are possibly putting yourself in a bad spot, you know, where Fnatic can get a good jump, and right now I don't think you can afford to lose a fight near your base.
Yeah, if this fight ends up on their side of the river, it's almost certainly objectives for Fnatic. They're now have the short queued up on the Wraith King. I think that's just giving him a lot more. Yeah, they'll find themselves the puck. They'll throw out the stun. They have the finger. They'll kill off Moon. He doesn't have buyback, dead for 90. This gives an opportunity for T1 to kind of secure some farm, find those next items, and
that's all
they're not
they
really
can
going to
do.
push
Like,
much
it's
objectives.
a big kill, but they can't take any objectives, possibly a tier 2 tower on top, and that's pretty much it. Like, this is what they can probably get. I don't think Fnatic cares too much about that tier 2 tower.
Yeah. Next, this will finish for the Nagasire.
DP says differently. I mean, when you think about it, they have a really sick tower defense with Midnight Pulse, Firestorm, these 2 percentage-based abilities. It's where the damage also comes from in a team fight. You have a bit of Malice to hold them in place, set up these two abilities. It's going to be most of your damage. On top of Raid King. Like, don't get me wrong, Raid King is a raid boss in this game. He finally gets that shard, doesn't have to care about any kind of mana burn.
Yeah. Gets that shard, becomes the Mythic Plus boss. It's really difficult for T1 to take him out of the fight completely. And at that point, there's so much commitment that you need to make just to get both lives out of the hands of Raven. You know, the last game where we saw Wraith King getting dueled and then now he's in the center of a Wukong's command, it became really tough for that Wraith King. Here, I don't think his struggles are nearly as much.
Yeah, it's a different game for Wraith King, where you know, he cares about kiting potential, but he has a really good backup team.
T1 finally crossing the river for the first time in what feels like 10 minutes. It's probably an overestimate. Probably more like 6.
And it's not safe.
No, it's
it's
not.
really not safe for them to be across the river.
There's been some pressure, though, on that bot. Even if it's just a tiny amount, they have these illusions pushing. And trying to take care of them as best he can. You start to lose your attention, and all of a sudden the Naga Siren's down there, takes a tier 3, opens up the base a little bit.
This is something that they need to be very careful about, because I don't think T1 has a clear plan on how to win a team fight, but dragging out the game, just being annoying, is something that this lineup is really good at. With the Beastmaster summons, you're gonna always pretty much have a better vision coming out from long, illusions, scouting things out, so you can see where the enemies are and then try to go for some kind of a rat play.
Potentially you're going to see another Swift Blink. It's the only upgraded Blink we've seen in
so far.
One day.
Yeah, we've seen, what, two
or three Swift Blinks.
Roshan will be up in 30 seconds. There's a double damage being guarded by Raid King, I believe. Yeah, it's underneath.
Yeah, it's right under him. He's giving him the effects. Look at that. Look at that Wraith King. Particle effects looking good.
Pause the game. Raven is AFK.
WC in the chat.
Yeah.
It's said a lot. All of a sudden you're 55 minutes in. Wash closet. Or whatever. Water closet? Wash closet? I'm American. It's just the bathroom. Not really sure. Roche is back up. And this is what Fnatic want. They want to secure some safety, get that Aegis, grab themselves a cheese, make it a little bit easier to go up those steps, finish the game potentially.
Let's see if T1 decides to contest this. They might go for a sneaky play, possibly steal it with the Song of the Siren, but I still don't feel like they can just straight up fight 5 versus 5.
And they're going to move like Shadow, try to make their way over. Raven's coming in, blink away, Dream Coil will mix. And so will the 2 Dusts. They don't get their hands on the Beastmaster. So now Dream Coil's down, but you still got a lot of control from Fnatic.
In your pubs, you know, someone misses a Dream Coil, very reportable.
Can you report after popping games?
No, but, you know, pop games, sure. Every single time. Whenever it's up, you need to cycle those. Like, you're not going to have 5 remaining, because what's the point of it? Like, you just need to spend it.
Yeah. I think I'm always at 0. So I'm doing a lot of reporting, I think. Making the Dota community probably, you know, my
or
reasons
you're
for
getting
reports.
Reported all the time and you're not getting any back. Makes a lot of sense. So
I think I have a 10,000 behavior score, I hope. Fingers crossed. I try not to look.
Don't we all? No, we don't. I'm wondering what's the average behavior score in Dota? Probably around 6,000.
That seems so low.
It really doesn't, you know. You're so naive, Beacop.
I don't know. I had 10K my entire. I maybe slipped to 99.80 or something like that, but especially right now, in the flat, I don't have a button for my mic, so I keep pretty quiet. Can't get recorded.
Oh yeah, my mic got me in trouble multiple times. This is when the behavior score starts to drop. So back to the Roche pit.
There they go. Doesn't look like it'll be.
Seems like an easy one, not contested. There's Naga at trying to get very close.
Ooh, Zephyr, look at the statue. Raven gets it. They got the kill on Dire, but they snatched the Aegis. Close. Zephyr was almost there at the time.
He made a space in inventory, trying to grab it, but that's cheese and Aegis for Fnatic. Now Enigma has a Lincoln Sphere, doesn't have to care about the Swap or the Roar, one of those two.
Going for a shard as well. Still want that black hole. Pull you in.
Behold!
Someone coming over. Force staff. Pop the Lincolns. They've got the stun. There are a lot of heroes here, White Man. I don't know if you want to be there. Especially when you're getting 2 clicks by Raven.
You're dead.
White One's really fast on using the Force Staff into Mana Drain, into Hex. Just moving that Lincoln Sphere with the Mana Drain and the successful cast on Hex.
Just ended up being too much to handle with the 2 other heroes around.
Yeah. You know, but we gotta give him credit.
So, Ogre now at 9,000 gold on that net worth. That Midas paying off. He's got
Really
4
is.
staff, he's level 20.
No, he got Midas at what? 30-minute mark?
Maybe even a little later than that.
I think it was 30. And then a 4 staff, now sitting on 2,000 gold, got himself to level 20. Extra attack speed on Bloodlust.
Potentially outfarmed it.
I think it's go time. The lanes are in a good state. The left is popped. You have mid pushed in. You have bottom pushed in.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
How will they try to defend this for T1? Let the first set of racks go. They've got a refresher on the Beastmaster. So 2 roars, 2 opportunities.
I think he just wants to have 1 extra for Enigma's Lincoln Sphere.
Arrow, 4 staff. They've got the stun. They're looking for the Pit of Malice. Can they get the first wipe out of his hands? Yes, they can. That's just the reincarnation. They have 4 seconds to work with. They get the one white line. They look over at Carl. They'll finish the Venge off. Take out 2. They both have buyback. They bomb back on Whitemon. Will they buy back on the Venge? There's the Abyssal coming through. The stun onto the other
There's the black hole.
Finger. They get the kill to the black hole. He's onto the Naga as well as the Beastmaster. They just don't have the damage finish off the Naga just yet. However, they kill off Cuckoo. They take the Beastmaster out of the fight. He bought out on that refresher ward, so he doesn't have buyback there for 73 seconds. They've got the silence out of the Venge as well as the Lion. They look over at Whitemon. Now, with the song, they'll reset, but what do you have in this reset? Arrow comes in. Battle hit onto this puck. Do they have anything else? Raven starts to come forward. The right clicks are aimed. They get the kill to Carl. They'll end up losing Moon. He's got buyback. Naga getting low. The right click from Raven. Will it be enough? He gets under the tier 4 tower. They've got the stun. He'll get the kill and he'll buyback immediately, but Zephyr's been caught and he's been killed off.
I believe that's it. They lost pretty much everyone. They're knocking on your tier 4s now, hitting the throne, and the double Gs are dropped. So yeah, pretty nice showing from Fnatic. He won with the lineup that needed to do more early on. Like you needed to get out of the laning stage with 3 to 5k gold advantage, keep the pressure going. That's why I would have wanted to see a different hero than the Naga Siren that, you know, just goes for the towers, puts a bit more pressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, all the Fnatic needed to